The beautiful moving sound of the lone bugle playing here at the City Ground, and the incredible effect as well of the advertising hoardings, the electronic ones as well, all flashing with a white background and giant poppies across all of them falling from the sky. Beautifully observed here in Nottingham, and now Mulliving Kintyre strikes up all around us. The Nottingham Forest scarves are held aloft all around the stadium. The atmosphere in here quite something. Two of English football's great clubs, actually, both former winners of the top flight title. Leeds United doing that 3 times. Nottingham Forest famously, of course, doing it once under the great Brian Clough in 1978. Both, it's all about staying in the Premier League season, in the Premier League this season, in the top flight. Starting today, Nottingham Forest in 19th. They're 4 points above Wolves. They are 4 points behind Burnley in 17th, 5 points behind Leeds, who start the day in 16th. They are their opponents this afternoon. And we're just about ready to go. Our referee today is Jared Gillett. He's dressed all in black. He turns to the touchline. He's waiting for the AOK to start this game. 3 other games kicking off in the Premier League at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Full commentary of Manchester City, Liverpool to come at 4:30 as well. And we are underway. Some atmosphere, and we're hoping we're going to get the entertainment to match. Leeds United have kicked us off. They have the ball. Nottingham Forest just happy to keep them inside their own half at the moment. Anton Stack, the German, plays back to Bijol, the centre-back. It comes back to the goalkeeper, Lucas Perry, all in orange. Aronson just nods a header up in the air. Lucas Metra is centre-forward this afternoon for Leeds. He battles for it in the centre circle. It goes forward into the Nottingham Forest half. Milenkovic hooks it away over his shoulder. Bogle tries to control it on the right. He can't quite do that. And there's a roar from the Forest fans as their team wins an early throw-in. There'll be nerves out there, Sue Smith, today. This is a big game.
Yeah, it's a massive game, and what an atmosphere it is. But yeah, you've got 2 huge teams just at the wrong end of the table. They'll certainly be looking to get 3 points just before the international break. Nottingham Forest, obviously being at home, will be slight favourites, but I think this is going to be a tight one.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest haven't enjoyed a Premier League win since the opening weekend of the season under Nuno Espirito Santo when they beat Brentford. 9 games since then. Leeds have 3 wins to their name so far this season, but away from home they've lost 4 out of 5, and they were well beaten last weekend at Brighton. Stack is back into the midfield in this Leeds team, plays back to the left back Goodmanson. Okafor does well to hold the ball up. The pass forward though is intercepted by Nottingham Forest chunky centre-back Murillo. Nice little forward pass from Anderson through the lines. Dominguez gets on the ball. It's going to be interesting to watch where he plays for Nottingham Forest this afternoon. And here's Gibbs White, nods it down to himself just outside the penalty area, lines up the shot, low one, palmed away, and behind for the first corner of the game. It's Forest 0, Leeds 0. Sue Smith.
That's really positive play, isn't it, from Gibbs White there? And he's probably not been at his best this season, but that's what he's got the capability of doing, picking the ball up, driving at players, and that's not far away. It's a decent save in the end from Perry.
Sue, Nicholas Dominguez, you were talking to me about him before the game, about why he may have been selected. I mean, Hudson-Odoi is unavailable today. Dominguez has been chosen.
Yeah, and I wondered whether Hutchison would come into the game on that out wide position, but no, Dominguez has come in. I think he'll probably play a little bit more central.
Anderson's cross in from the Dominguez short corner. Shot driven in by Sangare. That is blocked, and Leeds are on the break coming away down the left-hand side. Brendan Aronson, ball at his feet, tackled well by Elliot Anderson. He's got a chance to come back to his goalkeeper. He's not going to use that. Then he's almost lost it inside his own half, stretches and keeps the ball for Nottingham Forest. And here they come. There's Dominguez in a central position, gets towards the halfway line, accidentally catches Stack in the face with a stray arm. The referee's going to let this go, and Nottingham Forest continue their attack. There's Igor Jesus looking for the run on the outside from Nico Williams. He won't get to that pass. Bogle clears into Williams, and that'll be a Leeds throw. Early update from Aston Villa against Bournemouth comes from Sohail Sahi.
Well, we've played 3 minutes here, Alistair, at Villa Park. It's still Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0. But not good news, a clash of heads between Tylus Adams and Adam Smith, 2 Bournemouth players. Adam Smith, the captain. The ball was cleared away by the Aston Villa defence. They both went for it. It was bouncing high, middle area of the midfield, and they both clashed. They seem to be okay at the moment. Fingers crossed. They're being seen to at present. 2 stretchers are on the football pitch at the moment as well. I'll give you an update shortly, but at the moment they're both being seen to. Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0.
So update to that game here on 5 Live. Commentary of that game is on Sports Extra 2. Brentford Newcastle is on Sports Extra, and Crystal Palace Brighton is on Sports Extra 3. And the way to go and find all those stations is download the BBC Sounds app, which is where you'll find all our brilliant podcasts as well. And you look across the wheel at the top, and your choice of listening is there. Gibbs White caught by Ampadu's high foot. Referee had a long look at that. Now, he stopped the game. I'm not sure whether he's going to give Nottingham Forest a free kick or not here. It's in a central position 30 yards from goal, because I think he was thinking there, the referee, Sue, about letting Leeds play, then thought maybe Gibbs White has been caught in the head there. I'm going to stop the game. But how are we going to restart the game here? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think what the referee's seen is that it's a head injury, and straight away he's got to call the medical team on, make sure that he's okay. Ampadu doesn't do anything wrong. He kicks the ball and it goes up into Gibbs White's face, which then knocks him to the floor. So hopefully he'll be okay. But yeah, the referee did the right thing there.
So a couple of Bournemouth players down at Aston Villa getting checked for head injuries. That's the same for Morgan Gibbs White here at the City Ground. This is Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds 0. Palace Brighton is underway, being watched by Andy Stevenson.
As you'd expect, the opening few minutes have been played at 100 miles an hour here. Crystal Palace have just fashioned a great chance. Brilliant play from Ismail Assar, put Jean-Philippe Mateta through, and Mateta rifled a shot just over the bar. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
And what's happened at Brentford Newcastle so far? John Southall.
Afternoon, Ali. It's Brentford 0, Newcastle 0. Bright start from Brentford, but Newcastle with the half an opening. Bruno Guimaraes on the right edge of the penalty area blazed it over the bar. Brentford 0, Newcastle 0.
There's a trio for you down on the touchline. Dyche, Wone and Stone, the Nottingham Forest management crew.
Brilliant, isn't it? And you can see straight away that Dyche has instilled his sort of style on this Nottingham Forest team. He's making sure that they're hard to beat. There's more long balls, but they've started really positively this afternoon.
So it's 0-0. Morgan Gibbs White is okay. We restart with a drop ball. Leeds had possession, so Joe Rodon receives that drop ball from the referee, and we're back underway. Next break in play, I'll just remind you the two starting 11s for this Premier League encounter this afternoon. Jakob Bijol brings the ball forward for Leeds. He's able to pass it across the halfway line to Rodon. He goes wide to Bogle. Bogle comes zipping infield, followed there by Dominguez, so Bogle can't make it forward. Back it comes to Stach, who's not started the last couple of games for Leeds, one of their summer signings. Brendan Aronson, the American international, wide on the right. Longstaff is tackled this time by Nicolas Dominguez. Leeds get a throw inside the Forest half, and they throw it back into their own half. So Forest have Matt Sells in goal. It's Nicolo Savona at right back, Nico Williams at left back, Murillo alongside Nikola Milenkovic at centre back, Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangare in central midfield. And there are Nottingham Forest breaking it up and coming forward to Morgan Gibbs White, the number 10. He's got Dominguez and Dan and Doy either side of him. It's Igor Jesus through the middle. Gibbs White, couple of touches, dummies the cross in the inside right channel, fires a pass back towards Milenkovic, the giant Serb with the shaved head standing in the centre circle. Savona's pass down the right doesn't find Gibbs White, and the ball goes out for a Leeds throw in the left back position.
Certainly been a real positive start though for Nottingham Forest. You were mentioning Dominguez and where he potentially may come in. He's certainly on that left hand side, but he's very good at finding pockets, so he's coming into those central areas, and will be looking for Nico Williams to maybe provide the width on that side, and Ndoye on the right hand side. He's pretty much touching, or his feet are touching the touchline. It's quite hard for me to say that one.
Here come Forest, 0-0 against Leeds. Gibbs White's layoff suddenly becomes a 50-50 inside the Leeds half. Aronson knocked to the floor by Sangare. That'll be a free kick for the visitors. Back to Villa, Sohail Sahi.
Still 0-0. Here's Cash, it's a chance. It's been well saved by Petrovic. Still 0-0 between Aston Villa and Bournemouth. Just to give you an update, Alistair, Tyler Adams is okay. He's back on the pitch, but Bournemouth's captain, Adam Smith, his afternoon is over. He's being replaced by Alex Jimenez. It was a nasty gash down his left ear. He was really blooded. He had to come off. He didn't want to, but he was forced off by the Bournemouth physio. So Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0.
Okafor dribbling down the left-hand side for Leeds. Live from the City Ground, 5 Live and BBC Sounds this afternoon. Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds 0. Headed down to Ampadu, just inside the Forest half. Passes back to his Welsh international teammate Joe Rodon. They've both got important games coming up for Wales. Liechtenstein away and North Macedonia home as their last two World Cup qualifiers. Bringing the ball forward down the left-hand side is Stack. Floated pass into the middle. Mecha jumps, does well, brings it down on his chest. Finds Okafor. Sangare's there again, trying to control Okafor. Leeds win the throw on the left-hand side. Big chance, or chances, I'm hearing, at Selhurst Park. Andy Stevenson.
Yeah, great start to this game. Chances at both ends and 2 superb saves. A big chance, first of all, for Brighton. Diego Gomez pounced on a bit of indecision in the Palace area, but fired a shot straight at Dean Henderson. And then Mateta laid the ball on a plate for Ismail Assar at the other end. Verbruggen tipped his curling shot round the post. It's a fantastic game, but it's 0-0.
Right, long throw on the way, first of the afternoon. Been talking about these all season. This is Leeds, their attempt at it. They're all in blue. They're attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. It's Ampadu's throw. It drops dangerously in the 6-yard box. It bounces all the way through to Matt Sells.
Yeah, and that's something I think that Forest have struggled with a bit this season in terms of set pieces, long throws, and obviously Sean Dyche has come in and he'll be looking to address that. But you've got to get the first contact there. The header, the long throw went straight through to the goalkeeper, thankfully, there for Nottingham Forest.
Forest 0, Leeds 0. So Leeds have the Brazilian Lucas Perry in goal. Jayden Bogle, Joe Rodon, Jakob Biol, Gabriel Goodmanson there back four. Ethan Ampadu in front of them. Brendan Aronson, Sean Longstaff, Anton Stack and Noah Okafor, with Lucas Mecha, former Manchester City striker, the German. First season for him at Leeds. 1 goal so far this season. Came in the opening round of fixtures from the penalty spot against Everton. But he is starting up front today with Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the bench. That's a nice searching pass from Milenkovic. Dominguez pops up on the right this time, hits the cross and wins Nottingham Forest a corner.
He's all over, isn't he? And I think that's probably what Sean Dyche has said to him. Go and find those little bits of space, and when you can turn and create, do it. And he certainly started brightly.
And he will take the corner himself from the right. So Nottingham Forest in the red shirts, white shorts, red socks, attacking the goal in front of that Bridgeford stand, away to our right-hand side. Dominguez pauses for a second, standing as still as a statue. Now runs at the ball. It's an away swinger. Oh, Murillo went flying at that. Didn't make contact with the header. It falls to Williams. He's inside the penalty area. Onto his left foot. Drives it into the box. It spins up in the air. Gibbs White will get there first for Forest on the right. Crosses blocked by Mecha. Forest get themselves another corner, 0-0.
It was a really good corner, wasn't it, from the right-hand side? There was so much power and pace on it. It was out swinging, and you just thought Murillo was going to get onto the end. I think Leeds did enough. I think they got enough bodies in and around him just to put him off.
In terms of scoring from the set pieces themselves, Milenkovic 5 goals last season. Murillo got himself a couple. They're the two who the eye is drawn towards as they line up here. They run from the edge of the penalty area. Deeper corner this time, headed by Jesus. Drops to Jesus again. Deflected shot. Oh, Perry's done brilliantly to stop that. He was flat on his back. It nearly looped over him. He stretched out a long left arm and just got a fingertip to it to stop it crossing the line, and then managed to sweep the ball away. And actually, in the end, Leeds United are going to get a free kick for something. It's an offside in there. It wouldn't have counted. What a save that was.
Oh, Ali, it's absolutely brilliant. He celebrates it because what a reaction save. As the shot's coming in, it gets deflected and he's going down to his right-hand side. He has to put his left arm up to just get onto the ball, and then he manages to punch it away as there's an oncoming striker. It's brilliant from Perry.
Brilliant goalkeeping, worth watching on Match of the Day this evening. It was offside, it wouldn't have counted. I hope they still show it. BBC One at 10:30. Highlights available of all the Premier League action on the iPlayer from 8 o'clock. No goals as yet in the 4 Premier League kickoffs at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The ball is high in the air, drops inside the Forest half. Savona beaten to it by Okafor, slides it here to Aronson. Aronson's got Mecha on his right-hand side. Little step over, shot! Oh, finds the bottom corner. What a start for Leeds United at the City Ground. They pounced there on that ball inside the Nottingham Forest half. Aronson did his bit, and then it was all down to Mecha. Little bit of skill, and he's fired the finish into the back of the net. Forest 0, Leeds 1. What
a brilliant finish from Mecha. It all starts from Okafor on the left-hand side, plays the ball into Aronson. It's a good ball across to Mecha, but I'm just watching it again, and it's really good play. Nottingham Forest just need to clear their lines. You can see that Leeds United win the ball. Okafor, real tidy play, stretches, plays the ball to Aronson, who's central, then plays the ball out to Mecha. It's a nice little step over. You think he's going to go onto his left foot. He doesn't. He goes onto the right-hand side, and then he plays it back across goal into that far far corner. What a finish, brilliant from Leeds United.
Well, one of the big questions, Sue, of course, I think with both of these teams, but particularly Leeds United this season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 1 goal so far this season. Where are the goals coming from? Here's a lad, Metcher, signed in the summer, only his 2nd Premier League start. That is what they're looking for.
Absolutely, it's an opportunity for him, isn't it? Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he's struggling with an injury, but when you come into the side, you get one opportunity like that, you've got to be clinical, and that's exactly what he was.
Right, Nottingham Forest behind at home, sets the game up for the neutral very nicely. Here's Okafor on the left-hand side, another one of the Leeds United summer signings. His pass won't find a way through there. Savona clears, that takes a deflection, and Doy is holding off Goodmanson. He's fouled by the Leeds left-back, so Nottingham Forest get a free kick inside their own half. So 14 minutes gone in the first half, and Leeds United off to a flyer, 1 in front.
Yeah, and I think Nottingham Forest probably started the better of the two sides, but Leeds have just capitalised on, they pressed high, they've won the ball back. Good little bit of play from Okafor, who I have been impressed with this season. He's shown real glimpses of quality and just a clinical finish, but I was watching Sean Dyche's reaction and he was saying it's just got to go.
Yeah, I saw that too. Villa Bournemouth goalless, Brentford Newcastle the same, as is Palace Brighton. Forest 1 behind against Leeds. Igor Jesus climbs, wins a header, finds Savona on the right, gives it to Ndoye. Ndoye just inside the penalty area on the right. Perry palms it out. Sangare 1-1. Well. 2 goals in the first 15 minutes. Leeds defenders all look at each other and think, well, what could we have done better there? Perry palmed it out. Sangare in the right spot at the right time. He's found the equaliser. Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds United 1.
And this is another calm finish from Sangare. This time it is a long ball forward from Nottingham Forest at the back. They win the first header, and then on the right-hand side, it's good play. They get the ball into a dangerous area. Perry can only palm the ball, can't get it away from bodies. It goes into Sangare, and then what a finish that is. He's obviously come into the side, and yeah, certainly took his moments as well.
There we go then. Leeds were not in front for long. Sue Smith, former England international, with us here at the City Ground. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Choice of listening to all the Premier League games at 2 o'clock this afternoon, but this one has already had 2 goals. Forest 1, Leeds 1. So now Sean Dyche, in sort of classic manager fashion, as soon as they've scored, pointing fingers to the side of the head, concentrate, switch on, next few minutes. Let's just keep it steady. We're back in this game. And it's Sangare who has scored his first goal for Nottingham Forest, his 3rd season at the club, his 47th appearance, and he's on the score sheet for the very first time. And Nottingham Forest have a throw on the left.
I was actually thinking, could Perry have done a little bit better with that palm? Could he have maybe palmed it away from Sangare, away from trouble? But I actually think Dominguez was coming in and he had to try and do it quickly, so yeah, maybe not too much criticism on the goalkeeper there.
Ball across to Milenkovic for Nottingham Forest. Brentford Newcastle latest, John Southall.
Brentford 0, Newcastle 0, but great opening for Brentford. Free kick on there from Henderson, went through everybody. Pope saved it to his left-hand side, came back out to Hickey. There was Pope again to save with his legs. Brentford 0, Newcastle 0.
Here's Ndoye bringing it in from the right. Fancies a shot with his left foot wide of the target and behind for a goal kick.
Well, it's all Forest now, isn't it? That was a diagonal ball from the back. Great ball from Murillo out to the right-hand side, and Doy cuts inside. Do you think he's going to go for that far post? He doesn't. He cuts back for the near post. I think Perry had it covered, but real positive play from Nottingham Forest.
As I said at the start of our coverage today, this is only the 2nd meeting between these 2 great clubs in the top flight this century. The last of those was a couple of seasons ago, February 2023. Nottingham Forest won the game 1-0. It was Jesse Marsh's last game in charge of Leeds that season. Javi Gracia came in. He didn't last too long. Sam Allardyce took over for the end of the season, and Leeds were relegated. Nottingham Forest, of course, this season already onto their 3rd manager, Nuno Espirito Santo at the start, now at West Ham. Ange Postecoglou didn't last long. Sean Dyche, this is his 5th game in charge. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Biol on the ball for Leeds, up to the halfway line, curls a pass down the left-hand touchline. Metcher chases, last touch there from Milenkovic, doesn't want it to go out for a corner. Metcher makes the tackle, and Milenkovic gets what he wants, because that is going to be a Nottingham Forest goal kick.
Really good pressure from Metcher there, though. He was chasing down a lost cause, and I think what you're going to get from him is, of course, he's going to hold the ball up and bring players in, but he's also going to stretch the play. He'll look to get in beyond the Nottingham Forest defence.
So Matt Sells, Forest goalkeeper, light yellow goalkeeping jersey untucked, has the 2-tiered Trent end directly behind him away to our left. Murillo from the goal kick passes it to the Belgian keeper. He clears with his right foot. Jesus times his run, leaps in the air. First time ball from Dominguez is fantastic to find Undoy. One touch shot, straight at Perry, it nearly went through his legs. He patted it down, he nearly backheeled that into his own net. He's a relieved man, he picks the ball up, it remains 1-1.
Well, Dominguez has been a real key player, hasn't he? He's picking lots of little spaces up. This time he's central, plays the ball through to Undoy, who'd come from out wide, and yeah, in the end it's straight at the goalkeeper Perry. You'd expect him to save that.
Had a slight concern this afternoon we may not see too many goals, but it's not looking that way at the moment, Sue, is it? It's good.
Yeah, really pleased about that.
Yeah, enjoying it so far. Here's Biol on the ball again for Leeds. Little right-footed pass from the Slovenian to the German Stack. Biol's nice turn there, beats Dominguez. Dominguez sort of let him go in a way. He was fouling him, decided to let go, and Biol was able to complete the turn, but the ball forward is back now with Sell, so he clears for Nottingham Forest. Rodon beats Jesus to the header. It's headed out to the right-hand side. Williams felt he was barged off the ball there. Murillo clears, spinning high ball up towards Jesus, who's doing really well in the air up there. Rodon whacks that away up towards the halfway line. Frenetic, fast-paced stuff at the moment. And it's still Forest 1, Leeds 1, and Gibbs White comes chasing through to the goalkeeper Perry. Nottingham Forest fans get involved to try and put the opposition keeper under a bit of pressure, and Jesus also chases hard to close down the clearance. Leeds get the throw, Rodon's clearance into Jesus, and out for the throw.
Yeah, they are both pressing quite high, aren't they, when they get the opportunity to do that. And you think Jesus has obviously come in, Chris Wood's missing. I do think they have missed him. I think his sort of presence up there, what he can provide. But yeah, Jesus has done okay.
Ball's back with Matt Sells. Leeds weren't able to work anything from the throw. Sells is well outside his own penalty area here. Little pass to Milenkovic. Lazily strokes the ball to Murillo. Murillo, nice ball down the left to Williams. Williams went forward a couple of yards, comes back in field to Elliot Anderson, who again you imagine is going to be involved for England. The next couple of internationals coming up against Serbia on Thursday night. Full commentary here on 5 Live, and then away to Albania next week. The ball has run to Nico Williams. Ball at his feet just outside the area on the left. The cross hits the body of Bogle. Aronson onto it for Leeds. Fouled, I think, by Williams, yet referee agrees and says that is going to be a free kick for Leeds United. Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds 1. As we stand up here in our commentary position, Sue, it's just caught my eye there, the absolutely enormous television screen that the owner, Evangelos Marinakis, watches. I mean, it's quite away from this commentary position. That's probably the clearest view of a monitor we've got in the stand.
It's amazing.
Our producer Phil walked past the seat, the big throne. It looks very, very comfortable, but he didn't dare sit down in it and try it out. But we can see him down there, Mr.
It looks
Marinakis.
a comfy seat, yeah.
It is a very comfortable seat. Free kick Leeds. They've taken it quickly inside their own half. Ampadu plays it across to Bogle. Bogle with the blue socks rolled down for Leeds. Longstaff involved. First time ball from him back to Rodon. Across it comes to Biol inside the Forest half on the left. Goodmanson in his bright orange boots passes back to Biol. Gibbs White is close by. Across to Ampadu. Just one touch from him, and then he gets the ball away to Rodon. Rodon's pass low out to the right to Aronson. Little 1-2 with Bogle. Nice movement, nice passing from Leeds, but not really any penetration at the moment. Back on the halfway line with Goodmanson. Goodmanson to Ampadu, back to Biol, who may well go to the goalkeeper here. We'll check in at Brentford. John Southall.
Well, it's still Brentford 0, Newcastle 0, but Joe Linton just hobbling off the field. He took a knock on the shin a little bit earlier. Just seen the size of his shin pad. Not surprised it didn't offer much protection. Jacob Ramsey is the man on. Brentford 0, Newcastle 0.
His Stack for Leeds. Plays across to Rodon. Rodon wide to Bogle, so Leeds enjoying some possession at the moment in the game. They took the lead through Mecha, didn't hold it for too long. Sangare with the equaliser for Nottingham Forest. Dan James has just gone trotting down the touchline for an early warm-up as one of the Leeds subs here. Biol with his right foot hits the long diagonal. Pinpoint accuracy onto the chest of Bogle. Brings it infield. Ampadu with the outside of the right boot comes back into his own half, and it seems to be sort of one step forward, one step back at the moment. Leeds are probing, they're keeping the ball, they're looking for a way through. Forest defending resolutely.
It's actually a really good shape, isn't it, from Nottingham Forest? Like you say, Leeds are trying to move the ball around, just can't get through.
Given away by Okafor to Gibbs-White. This could be dangerous for Leeds. Gibbs-White, outside of his right foot, was caught as he played the pass. Nottingham Forest get themselves a free kick. Too far out for a shot, right in the middle of the Leeds half. A Villa-Bournemouth, latest from Sahel Sahi.
24 minutes play, still Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0, but good play from Alex Scott. He's enjoying himself after his England call-up just a couple of days ago. He nicked the ball away from Onana, drive towards the penalty area, was fouled on the end. It was left to Marcus Tavernier. He took a left-footed free kick, blazed it way over the top. Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0.
And what about a game that is always hotly contested? Crystal Palace against Brighton, being watched by Andy Stevenson.
Well, after a frantic start with chances aplenty, the game has quietened slightly. It's still goalless. The crowd haven't quietened at all, though. I was here for the Palace win against Liverpool at the end of September, and it is rivalling that for atmosphere. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Manchester City Liverpool is our commentary this evening at 4:30. Don't miss that one. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage will take the calls on 6:06 after that. Here's the free kick for Forest. Dominguez, diagonal ball, slightly overhit. Murillo, Bogle covered him well there. Murillo was trying to make a run to get on the end of that to head it back across goal, and he couldn't do so. So we've seen the 2 goals, Sue, and now it's turning into one of those sort of tussles, arm wrestles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little bit cagey, isn't it? Like you mentioned before, Leeds were trying to play the ball around, draw Nottingham Forest out of shape, and not managing to really do that, but having quite a lot of possession.
Lucas Perry, Leeds goalkeeper, passes to his right. Rodon sees space to run into, so lifts the knees high, gets the legs pumping. Ball forwards inaccurate. Murillo comes charging in to try and win it for Forest. Does that at the second attempt. Sangare, little pass forward here to Anderson. Clever pass, just curling it into the path here. With Gibbs-White on the left-hand side. Cross comes in from him, deflected, chested down by Stack. Takes his time and gives it a good old clump downfield. Milenkovic clambering all over the back of Mecha. Referee's not interested in that. The claims of Mecha for the free kick. There's Dominguez, forward to Anderson, tries to get it back to the Argentine Dominguez, surrounded by blue shirts, plays his pass through the lines. Gibbs-White was starting to make the run, couldn't control it, and it's come through to the Leeds keeper, Perry.
It's quite interesting. I'm watching the battle between Mecha and Murillo and Milenkovic. It's brilliant. All 3 of them are quite happy for that real sort of physicality.
Yeah, Mecha started out at Manchester City. There were loan spells at Preston, Middlesbrough, Wolfsburg and Anderlecht before a permanent move to Wolfsburg in 2021. He spent the last 4 seasons there. Has scored today, started today for Leeds and scored. Daniel Farke, the Leeds boss, in the big black coat with the hood dangling down his back, just waving his right arm here because he wants Goodmanson, his left back, to get a little bit further down the pitch. Biol's on the ball. Passes to Stack, he's bumped off it by Undoy, knocked to the floor, but manages to get it back to his goalkeeper, Perry. Perry with his right foot just goes high and long down the middle of the pitch. Milenkovic heads it away. Goal at Brentford, John Southall.
Newcastle have the lead, Brentford 0, Newcastle 1. Brilliant by Harvey Barnes, twisted and turned in the penalty area, made space for himself and then lashed it in. Brentford 0, Newcastle 1.
And a goal at Villa Park as well, Sahel Sahi.
Aston Villa have taken the lead, Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 0. Buendia from a free kick just outside the penalty area. He hit it flat, he just looped up and over the wall and past Petrovic. Nice free kick, nice execution. Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 0.
Right, so Villa 1 up on Bournemouth. You can listen to that in full if you want it on Sports Extra 2. Newcastle have taken the lead at Brentford. That's on Sports Extra right now. Palace Brighton still goalless is on Sports Extra 3. And if you want the Wales-Argentina Rugby Union Autumn International, kicks off at 3:10 this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on that. Commentary available from BBC Radio Wales via the BBC Sounds app, and from the second half onwards, that will also be on Sports Extra. So whatever you want to listen to this afternoon in the sporting world, we have it covered. Now, who is down there, Sue, for Leeds? Ampadu.
I think it's Ampadu, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was just a coming together. Just watching it again now, Ampadu's stretching for the ball, and yeah, I think Sangare, isn't it? It goes down sort of afterwards. So yeah, hopefully he'll be okay. But it's quite interesting. I'm watching Leeds, and we were talking about them keeping possession. They've just got to be careful, because when they lose it, Nottingham Forest are so good on the counter and can punish them and have a couple of times.
It looked relatively innocuous, the contact we've just seen there between Ampadu and Sangare, but he's clearly got a problem here. I think the Forest fans feel a bit of time is being wasted here, but I think Ampadu thought he was going to be okay and able to get up. It looked a bit like possibly knee on knee, which I know can be really painful, can't it?
Yeah, and whether he thought he was okay, tried to get up and realised it was a little bit more. Yeah, you just hope it's not a twist, because he does so well for Leeds, doesn't he? He just sort of protects that back line, if you like, good on the ball, very composed.
Amazing, Sue, when you think he's only 25 years old, because he seems to be around for absolutely ever. But he's got a problem at the moment. He's flat on his back, and the Leeds doctor is out there and seeing to Ethan Ampadu. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Palace, Brighton, Andy Stevenson.
Still 0-0 here. The chances have dried up slightly, but the game itself is still superb. So many brilliant performances out there at the moment. Ferdy Kadioglu having a great game at left back for Brighton. It is a superb watch, but it is Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Brentford, Newcastle latest. John Southall.
Brentford 0, Newcastle 1. Newcastle very much in the upper hand since that goal from Harvey Barnes. Really good finish from about 8 yards out. Made room for himself and smashed it in. Remember, Newcastle looking for the first away win of the season. They lead at Brentford by 0-0.
Yeah, Villa, Brentford, Newcastle at the start of the day, all very closely bunched, with Villa on 15 points, Brentford 30, Newcastle 12. Last we heard from Sohail Sahi, Villa were ahead at home against Bournemouth. Sohail.
And they still are, Alistair. Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 0, 30 minutes played. Emi Buendia with the goal after 28 minutes, direct from a free kick. It's been non-stop action since the whistle was blown at 2 p.m. Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 0.
Ethan Ampadu still receiving treatment here at the City Ground. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Gives me a chance, Sue, to ask you about our commentary at 4:30 this afternoon. Manchester City, Liverpool. Prepared to have a prediction, a guess at what might go on there this afternoon?
Do you know what a game that promises to be, doesn't it? And it's so tough, I think, to predict that one. Obviously, Liverpool were going through that tough spell, but I watched them midweek in the Champions League and they were absolutely brilliant, and you just feel getting back to their best. Obviously, we saw Manchester City, perform really, really well against Bournemouth, so I couldn't call that one. I'm going to sit right on the fence for that one.
I very unfairly asked you to do that at a completely different game that you're sitting at, and you've dealt with that quite brilliantly. WSL results so far today, while we're waiting for Ethan Ampadu to hopefully get back on his feet and get back into this game. Big win for the London City Lionesses, because Spurs have been going well this season, but London City Lionesses won that game 4-2. Liverpool, that's the first point of the season, isn't it? First point of the season, 1-1 against Brighton. And it finished West Ham 1, Leicester 1. Everton, Manchester City gets underway at half-2. You can watch that game on BBC Two this afternoon. And if Manchester City win that, they go above Chelsea and top the table. So.
Yeah, makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Back underway. Where's Ampadu? He's on the far side of the field, because obviously, having received the treatment, he's got to go off. So Leeds down to 10 at the moment. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Williams on the ball for Nottingham Forest. Cross it comes to Sangare. Sangare finds Gibbs White. Neat little turn as the ball was controlled with his right foot. Continued the turn. Back to Milenkovic. Across it comes to Murillo. Purpose about this attack from Nottingham Forest. Murillo straight past. Then the layoff there from Jesus was looking for Anderson. Leeds are able to intercept and bring it away quickly. And Nemecha is moving quickly. Looks for the pass, the diagonal to Stack. And that one was intercepted, and suddenly Forest now thinking about an attack of their own. The applause is for the pass from Sangare out to Williams. Williams has got a lovely free-flowing running style, and he picks up pace and then sees Dominguez on his outside. Back to Williams, ball at his right foot, passes back to Anderson. Next break in play will take you back to Brentford, Newcastle. Last we heard, Newcastle leading by 1-0. There's Savona to Gibbs White, and he's overhit that one. First time ball, looking to get Ndoye in on the right. Ndoye applauds the effort, but it goes behind for the goal kick. So come in, John Southall.
And it's still Brentford 0, Newcastle 1, but really good chance for Brentford. Kyoto with the long throw. Pope came to punch it, probably should have caught it, made a mess of it, came to Hickey on the right, and his shot was deflected wide. Brentford 0, Newcastle 1.
Also got games in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon, important ones as well. 3 of them kicking off at 3 o'clock, including the leaders Hearts at home against Dundee United. Celtic Kilmarnock starts at 4. Goodmanson tripped by Sangare, and a yellow card for Nottingham Forest combative midfielder. Free kick Leeds.
Yeah, it was always going to be a yellow card. That Goodmanson's running away from him, and I actually don't think he means it. I do think he's trying to run back and he just catches the back of his legs, but yeah, it's always going to be given, isn't it? Breaking a promising attack up.
13 minutes left in the first half. Sue Smith with us here at the City Ground. Forest 1, Leeds 1. So Sangare in the book. Sean Dyche at the moment still without Ola Aina. Zinchenko is missing. Douglas Luiz is out. So is Hudson-Odoi. Chris Wood, who, as Sue was saying, is absolutely crucial. Knows Sean Dyche so well as well from their time together at Burnley. Leeds free kick, midway inside the Forest half. Taken by Longstaff, floated diagonally towards the far post, headed behind. I think, what are we going to get? No goal kick. The Leeds United players cannot believe that, and they make their protestations known to the referee Jared Gillett. We'll have a look on the monitor and see what happened.
Yeah, they're absolutely furious. They think they should have got a corner for this. Nico Williams goes up, yeah, and they're absolutely right. It should have been a corner.
Yeah. Now, it was Sean Dyche, wasn't it, who was saying, I think Nottingham Forest have got unlucky 2 games in a row with corners that weren't meant to be corners. They then conceded from corners. That one should have been a corner against them and wasn't. So sometimes what goes around comes around. But I know Sean Dyche was talking about the potential of, or talking about the idea of introducing VAR for decisions like that. And I think if that happened, we'd never get the games finished. Here's Williams. Attacking down the left, makes a dart forward, turns back to Anderson. Anderson early cross into the far post. Gibbs White stretches, can't win the header, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Right, WSL then. I was talking about this game. Everton, Manchester City. It kicked off at 2:30. It's being watched by Betty Glover.
Everton 0, City 0, over 3 minutes played. As probably expected, City have had the better start. First chance came from Bunny Shaw, who was played in on goal, but a shot went straight to the hands of the keeper. It's Everton 0, City 0.
Just got a close-up shot here of Stephen Crean on our monitors, who I mentioned at the start of the game, who showed incredible bravery. I mean, just unimaginable bravery last week, and that was really quite special, actually, wasn't it, Sue? Before the game,
it was quite emotional, wasn't it? Like you say, unbelievable bravery to do what he did, and it was the whole of the stadium, the Leeds fans as well, all applauded him because it was incredible what he did. Yeah,
good to see him here. He's all right, watching the game, watching his beloved Nottingham Forest. Jesus chasing a ball down the left, sliding challenge from Beale. Centre-backs love those because they know they're going to win those. They can get the ball and they can put a little bit on the centre-forward as well, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely, they do. They do love those.
Right, that's going to be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. 35 minutes already flown by in the first half here. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Sean Dyche in conversation with Steve Stone beneath us in front of the Nottingham Forest dugout. Now it's going to be their first long throw of the afternoon. Nico Williams trying to get a good grip on that high visibility yellow match ball. In it comes to the near post. Milenkovic tries to win the flick on. Mecha volleys it away. It's over the head of Murillo. Murillo has plenty of time and space there to let it bounce. Nods it down to Sells. Sells passes forward to Sangare. Inside the Nottingham Forest half. Murillo comes out to the right here to Ndoye. Stephen Crean is now standing up beneath us here. He's just heading down the steps and away, and the Forest fans spotted him and applauded him. Cross comes in, Jesus with the header. Got up well again, he's done well in the aerial challenges, but couldn't get the header on target behind for the goal kick to Leeds.
He has done well in the aerial challenges, and again, it's good play on the right-hand side, a good delivery from Savona, and he gets up well, he's up above. I think it's Rodon he gets up above, but he just can't get it on target.
Yep, shot now of Chris Wood, who we were just talking about watching the game. Still not ready to go for Nottingham Forest as yet. Leeds playing out from the back here. So we've got Villa 1 up on Bournemouth, Newcastle 1 up at Brentford, Palace and Brighton still goalless, and this is Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds 1. Stack running away from Sangare, but inside his own half. Rodon has to hurry there, quick touch and pass back to his keeper Perry. Perry out to Biol. Biol on the left here for Leeds, short of the halfway line, falls as he plays the ball forward, headed away by Savona, drops down here to Longstaff, who passes to Stack. Stack runs into Ndoye, loose ball breaks to Okafor, who's able to turn the Swiss international and skid a pass out to the right to Bogle. Bogle tries to dribble past Dominguez, he's lost it here. Forest play it forward to Jesus. Jesus quickly to his left-hand side. Dominguez back to Anderson. Gibbs White wants it early through on the right-hand side. He doesn't receive that pass, but Anderson does keep the attack moving. Receives the pass back again here from Williams. Rodon is out there to close it down. Does really well for Leeds. Got there quickly. Makes the tackle. Anderson's blocked the clearance. Rodon's there again. Eventually gets the ball away. Mecha will chase that. Murillo will beat him to it and pass it to Milenkovic.
I know we spoke about him before the show, but Anderson, what a class act he is. So good off the ball, the way that he wins it back, and his composure on the ball, and the way that he always wants to face forward and start the play off. He's such a good player. Yeah,
so assured, so mature. Turned 23 on Thursday. Pretty sure we're going to be seeing him for England at the World Cup next summer if he continues like this. Forest attacking down the left. Gibbs-White couldn't beat Aronson there. Aronson, though, is now tackled by Williams. Low pass, he was looking for Dominguez. That's blocked. Bogle's clearance into Williams, and behind it goes for another Leeds goal kick. 7 minutes left in the first half. Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds United 1.
It's been a good game, but probably just the last few moments it's got a bit scrappy from both sides, whether that's down to the pressing and the intensity from the other team. But yeah, they're just giving the ball away a couple of times, which wasn't really happening in the opening part.
Goals came early. Mecha giving Leeds the lead. Fantastic right-footed finish, rifled into the bottom corner. Equaliser from Sangare. It was the low cross from the right that Perry palmed out into the Leeds penalty area, and Sangare was able to apply the simplest of finishes. Lucas Perry has the ball at his feet right now, right on the edge of his own box. Clears down the middle. Mecha and Murillo have a little wrestle and a tussle. Milenkovic passes back to Sells. Another goal at Villa Park, I'm hearing. Sohail Sahi.
And relentless Aston Villa pressure has paid off. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0, 5 minutes to play in the first half. The ball eventually fell out of the penalty area. It was pinging in there a couple of times. It fell to Onana and he hit it so sweetly. Right-footed, 25 yards away. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0.
Bournemouth beaten last weekend away at Manchester City. Now 2-0 down away to Aston Villa, who couldn't buy a win at the start of the season. But they're 2-0 to the good. The 2 o'clock kickoff's approaching half-time. It's got a little bit quiet for once inside the City ground at the moment. Anderson passes to his left, gets it back on the halfway line for Nottingham Forest, across to his midfield partner Sangare. He's got his head up all the time here, looking for the runners. Nicolo Savonu's a tall figure at right back, the Italian for Nottingham Forest. The ball has come back from the right across to the left. Murillo's pass is not a good one. It's past Gibbs-White and it goes straight through. No, it got a touch on the way through. It's actually earned Nottingham Forest a corner. That wasn't the best. They've got lucky there, I think.
Yeah, they have, and I thought the same as you. I thought he just kicked it out to play, but it does deflect off, and yeah, he's won his team a corner from a poor pass.
Yeah, but if it ends up in the back of the net, he'll be claiming, well, you know what led to the corner, don't you?
I would be.
Yes, exactly. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Suddenly it gets loud again inside this great old football ground. Decked out in the red and white, all those lists of trophies won, most of them under Brian Clough, between the two tiers around the ground. Corner's going to come in from the left wing, in towards the near post, headed away by Stack. Anderson battles for a 50-50. It falls to Okafor, fouled by Murillo. That'll be a yellow card. Okafor was breaking away, free kick for Leeds United.
Yeah, it was a definite yellow card. He knew exactly what he was doing. I thought the other one from Sangare, just in his running path, he sort of just clipped the back of his legs, but yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. Okafor was away there.
Just looking at it actually before the game in terms of the history of these two great clubs, because in terms of the league titles won, so Nottingham Forest have only won the one, and that was under Brian Clough, but the 2 European Cups as well, of course, and 4 League Cups. And Don Revie is the name you really associate with the Leeds United success, and they were great rivals, but not when Clough was at Forest and Revie was at Leeds. It was more when Revie was at Leeds and Brian Clough was at Derby, and Don Revie and Leeds definitely had the upper hand in those days, because by the time Brian Clough got to Nottingham Forest, Don Revie was off and away, had left Leeds United, had a spell in charge of England, and then on he went. Here's Milenkovic, passes to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White across to Murillo. Murillo wide to Williams. What have we got left here? 3.5 minutes first half. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Murillo, measured pass to Williams, lofted ball over the top up towards Jesus. Jesus tumbles in the penalty area, was toppling forward as he tried to get on the end of that. Biol was right behind him. The referee had a good view, said no penalty.
He did, but Biol did have his arm around his head, if you like, as he was travelling through, but like you say, referee had a great position and he said no.
Here come Forest again. Jesus prods a ball on the volley out to the left to Dominguez. Dominguez is able to get across and did well from a tight spot. Biol heads it away. Savona saw an opportunity to get there. Okafor nicks in, touches the ball forward on his own, getting away from Sangare. He's a strong runner here, Okafor. Support on the left-hand side from Gudmundsson. He heard the shout and finds him. Gudmundsson can't knock it through the legs of Milenkovic, who makes the tackle. Then he falls over down by the dead ball line. Leeds get another chance here. Sangare, though, tackles Gudmundsson. He feels he was fouled. And now this could turn into a Nottingham Forest counter. Sangare looks for the pass through to Jesus. Really important interception by Biol. And here we go again. Suddenly Leeds come pouring forward. Stack to Gudmundsson. Forward to Okafor. Mecha starts to make a run in the middle. That's looking for Stack the pass. Murillo's got that covered, gets his body in the way and runs the ball out of play for a Nottingham Forest goal kick. The definition of end to end.
Yeah, it was. It really opened up, and I think both teams were slightly out of shape, so they were trying to hit on the counter. We know that both sides are very good at that. They can go from back to front quickly, but it was just the final pass that was maybe lacking.
So goal kick for Nottingham Forest will be taken by Matt Sells in the lemon yellow away to our left-hand side. 90 seconds left in the first half, plus a bit of added time. Villa 2 up on Bournemouth. Newcastle leading Brentford 1-0 at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Still Palace 0, Brighton 0. Sells' clearance drops just inside the Leeds half. First header won by Anderson. Williams is brave there. Barges into Aronson as he wins the header. Mecha goes down off the ball. Again, another physical challenge between him and Murillo. Complains to the referee. It's gone out for a Nottingham Forest throw in their left-back position.
You can see what Leeds are trying to do, though. They're trying to get in and around Mecha, because I think in the Brighton game it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin that was up top and he was very isolated, but you can see that the wide players and a midfield runner are trying to get in and around him when they go forward, but just lack that little bit of quality.
Longer ball from deep by Milenkovic. And Ndoye and Jesus chasing. Bijol bouncing ball, heads it away to his left-hand side. Leeds have it inside their own half. Goodmanson, accurate pass, finds Stack. Milenkovic beats Mecha to it. Mecha complains again, throws his arms out, turns to his manager and says, how am I not getting these decisions? His manager saying, get up and get out there and chase the ball, because Nottingham Forest have it just inside their own half. Milenkovic passes and points. Savona delivers it quickly to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White plays it infield to Jesus. Savona continues his run. Goodmanson heads the ball away. It falls to Ampadu, who's properly back up and running for Leeds. His pass forward quickly cut out by Sangare. It goes wide to Nico Williams on the left. We've got 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Gibbs-White, 30 yards out, low skidding shot straight at Perry, who saves it comfortably.
Yeah, it was quite a distance, wasn't it? But it just opened up for him. Nobody closed him down, took a touch out of his feet, and you just wondered, because it skidded up at Perry, would it make it difficult? But yeah, straight at him.
So 4 minutes of added time. Goals came in the 13th and the 16th minutes of this game. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Rodon passes across to Bijol. Then Stack, who's in the left-back position because Goodmanson has gone further forward down the left-hand side for Leeds. Pace has slowed down a little late in the first half here. Stack again. Stack chips one across his own half. Rodon's got to be careful there. Dominguez was nearby. Heads it to Longstaff, who got the gentlest of nudges there. Sangare can't believe the free kick's been given against him, but Leeds do indeed get a free kick.
I don't think Sean Dyche can believe it either. Just watching, it's great watching the managers. They're right in front of us, aren't they? And you can just see how animated Sean Dyche is. He kicks every single ball.
Oh, yeah, he's out there in the sort of off-blue tracksuit. Sean Dyche. I was listening to Sports Report last night, and Adi Vivash, who's the in charge currently at Middlesbrough with Rob Edwards, obviously stood down for duties yesterday, came on and gave the post-match interview, and he sounded so much like
yes.
Sean. It sounded like he was doing a Sean Dyche impression. It was absolutely remarkable. Aronson, all fouled here for Leeds. About 30 yards from goal in the inside right channel. Probably a bit too far out for a shot, but Murillo's made the error, and Leeds have a chance to put some pressure on Nottingham Forest late in the first half.
Yeah, Aronson's come from the right-hand side. He's come central, trying to pick the ball up in there, and yeah, Murillo's come out to close him down, stop him turning, and yeah, just a little bit too much physicality. So yeah, it's a decent position for Leeds United, not in shooting range.
Longstaff will take the free kick. Nottingham Forest players complaining that he's actually, so the referee marched out the 10 yards, put the line of vanishing spray down, and while his back was turned, Longstaff was either moving the ball back or forward. Anyway, the Forest players spotted it. It was Ivan Toney, do you remember that, who moved it to the side
he did,
and scored that brilliant goal for Brentford and got away with that one. Right, Brendan Aronson's comes trotting over and had a word with Sean Longstaff. Players start to make the runs. Oh, it's a low pass and it's intercepted right on the edge of the box, and Longstaff had to make a really important tackle there to stop Ndoye getting away. So all that build-up, planning, preparation, and he passes it straight to a Nottingham Forest player.
It's poor, isn't it? You think he's just going to clip it to the far post, and he goes for a sneaky one down the side of the wall and just gets it all wrong. Nottingham Forest read it, and thankfully for Leeds United, he's able to stop the counter because they were on the break there.
Great bit of dribbling from inside his own half there from Murillo. He is a great Great defender to watch with the ball at his feet. Across it comes to Savona. Savona's longer ball downfield. Bounces once. Chested down by Jesus. Rodon sticks with him. Jesus holds him off. Passes back to Gibbs-White. On to Sangare. Quickly across here to Murillo. Last minute of added time at the end of the first half. Forest 1, Leeds 1. And Doy plays it to Williams. Williams gets the cross in from the left. It's caught really cleanly on the half volley by Stack with the clearance, and Leeds just happy to knock that downfield, get themselves back into their defensive position. And Matt Sells being urged by the Nottingham Forest fans to get on with it and get it forward. Wide to the left. Williams jumps. Bogle beats him in the air. Brought down by Aronson, the American international, who turns inside his own half. The ball gets away from him. Murillo plays it forward. That's easily read and intercepted by Longstaff. Plays it across to Okafor. Longstaff is caught off the ball, so he's out of the move at the moment. Okafor has it wide on the left. Little step over from him. 10 seconds left in the first half here. Can Leeds muster an attempt on goal? Sean Dyche desperate for his team to close it down and make sure that they don't. Rodon has scored a couple of goals this season, but not from that range. Long way out. Pass out to Bogle. Weak cross from him. Cut out by Nico Williams. And there is the half-time whistle. So 2 early goals. Leeds took the lead. Mecha starting the game, only his second Premier League start of the season, with a fabulous finish which fizzed into the bottom corner. The problem there, Sue, is they just didn't hold the lead for long enough to put the pressure on Nottingham Forest. They conceded within 3 minutes, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? It was a really well-worked goal from Leeds United. Lovely finish from Mecha that it's obviously come in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Needed to be clinical. I think from a Forest perspective, they've obviously created chances. They've had shots on goal, which I'm sure will please Sean Dyche. Probably just need a little bit more in those forward areas. From a Leeds United perspective, it's been an entertaining first half, hasn't it?
Yeah, very enjoyable first half here at the City Ground. On as even as the players head down the tunnel. Forest 1, Leeds 1.
Half-time whistle's just gone in the game between Brentford and Newcastle. John Southall.
It has, and it's Brentford 0, Newcastle 1. Plenty of endeavour, short on quality at times. The goal, though, an exception to that. Well-worked move by Newcastle ended with Harvey Barnes twisting and turning in the area and finishing emphatically. Good finish. Aaron Hickey's had 2 chances for Brentford. The first saved by Pope, the second his shot deflected wide after a Pope error. Newcastle, remember, after their first away league win of the season, they have the slender advantage. Brentford 0, Newcastle 1.
To Selhurst, that big game between Palace and Brighton, half-time, Andy Stevenson.
Everything but the goal at the end of a pretty breathless first half. After the first 10 minutes, it could have been 2 goals apiece. Some brilliant play from Ismail Assar. He put Jean-Philippe Mateta through, and Mateta rifled a shot just over the bar from the edge of the area. Then it was roles reversed. Mateta laid the ball on a plate for Sarr, but Bart Verbruggen superbly tipped his curling shot round the post. And in between, there was a big opportunity for Brighton. Diego Gomez pounced on a bit of indecision in the Palace area, but he fired his shot straight at Henderson, who's wearing the captain's armband today for the home side in the absence of Mark Gay. It's Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Yeah, a bit of Mark Gay news for you. He's expected to miss England's final World Cup qualifiers with a foot injury. He suffered a, quote, heavy bone bruise after the Conference League win over Alkmaar on Thursday. He was actually not able to walk afterwards. Oliver Glasner saying nothing is broken, but Gay has been on crutches for the past 2 days. Half-time at Villa Park, Aston Villa Bournemouth, Sahil Sahi.
Yeah, whistle just blown, Steve. Half-time, Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0. Hectic 45 minutes. Emi Bungier's super free kick opened the scoring, edge of the area, 20 yards out in front of the whole 10, and Gareth Bale-esque, he hit the ball with the top of his boot and it zipped past the wall and Petrovic. Onana then doubled the lead after relentless Villa pressure. He set himself 25 yards out and his shot was too powerful and it sneaked past Petrovic. The afternoon, it didn't start well for Bournemouth after their captain Adam Smith was forced off with concussion after a horrible clash of heads with his teammate Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams is okay. That seems to have settled a usually very composed and calm Bournemouth team. Unsettled, I should have said there, Steve. Half-time here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0.
In the Women's Super League, early games, full times. London City Lionesses 4, Spurs 2, Liverpool 1, Brighton 1 and West Ham 1, Leicester 1. There's been a goal in the game between Everton and Manchester City. Betty Glover.
There has indeed. Just over 21 minutes gone. It's Everton 0, City 1. It is that woman, Vivian Miedemar. She's got the opener. It's scrappy at the back from Everton, but really well taken by Miedemar. It has been pretty much all City. They've spent majority of this first half with over 70% possession. Miedemar went close as well earlier. Before that, Bunny Shaw also had a really good chance, but Miedemar has taken the lead as Everton 0, City 1.
Right, we will have another look ahead to Wales, Argentina in Cardiff in the Rugby Union. That gets underway very shortly in the next 15 minutes. And then we'll have our first proper look ahead from here inside the Etihad on a drizzly day to the big 4:30 commentary, which is Manchester City versus Liverpool. We'll do all of that. Then we'll have second half Premier League commentaries all after the news on 5 Live with Lisa McCormick.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. UK military personnel and equipment's been sent to Belgium after a series of suspected Russian drone incursions on its airspace. The new head of the British military, Sir Richard Knighton, says officials have asked for help after Brussels airport was forced to close temporarily last week. Thousands of veterans have marched past the cenotaph in central London as part of the annual commemorations for those who've died in conflict. The King led the Remembrance Sunday events, placing a wreath in Whitehall after 2-minute silence was observed. The Culture Secretary, Lisa Nandy, says she has complete confidence that the BBC's leadership is taking seriously allegations of bias in some news coverage. The corporation's chairman, Samir Shah, is due to respond to MPs tomorrow about concerns over Panorama's editing of a speech by President Trump. And Super Typhoon Feng Wong has made landfall in the Philippines. More than 1 million people have been evacuated from their homes in anticipation of the second massive storm in a week.
When two objects collide, vibrations ripple outwards as powerful waveforms. These waves travel through the air, surge into the ear, and through the auditory system, firing signals deep into the brain. Meaning sound isn't just heard. It's felt in every nerve, every beat, every breath.
Here's the first ball of the Ashes.
This is the sound of history being made. Feel every moment of the Ashes. Coming soon on 5 Sports Extra.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Half-times in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds United 1, Palace 0, Brighton 0, Brentford 0, Newcastle 1, Villa 2, Bournemouth 0. Second half commentary on the way on all of those games across 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, all in action in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers Dundee getting underway in the next few minutes. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, we're just about to get going. I should say the pitch looks magnificent for all the publicity it had over the last few years. We will be doing a minute's silence in just a second or two here, so I'll run through things really quickly. Dundee, 2 changes. Emil Aqua comes in, the former Barrow striker. Luke Graham also joins him as well. Rangers make 4 changes from the team that lost at home to Roma midweek. Cornelius, Diamonde, Danilo and Bojan Miovski all come in. Rangers are playing a 4-2-3-1. Danny Roll has done more in his first 2 in the league than Rangers have done in their previous 8. He's won those. It's a chance for Rangers to go back to 4th, and they're unbeaten in 18 meetings with the Dark Blues as things are about to get underway here at Den, Steve.
Thank you very much, Gavin. Yep, let's take you to the Autumn International. Wales, Argentina gets underway in 10 minutes. Owen Gwynedd.
Yes, Steve Tandy's era as Wales head coach starts today against Argentina, with Welsh Rugby hoping for an urgent boost to the game. It's 27 months and 9 games since Wales' last home win. Over the summer, Wales ended a record 18-match losing streak, which has seen them slip to 12th in the world. Whilst the Pumas arrive at the Principality as world number 6 and favourites, having beaten the Lions, Australia and New Zealand, and could have easily pipped South Africa in recent months. Contepomi has 19 from that 23 available today, and the Welsh cap have repeated that finding their identity is the big objective today, with Lions Jack Morgan and Thomas Williams back. Lewis Rees-Zammit is set to come off the bench.
Elsewhere today, dramatic end to the Abu Dhabi Championship Golf. Wolverhampton's Aaron Rai beat Tommy Fleetwood in a playoff. He was 5 under par in his final round, 25 under for the week. We are live from the Etihad. Manchester City versus Liverpool in full at 4:30. Correspondent John Murray is with us here. John, Pep Guardiola said it, didn't he? The big rivalry of his career, 1,000 games. They're going to mark that today. And it's just City versus Liverpool. That's enough on its own.
Yes, I have here with me the match programme today, which is being guest edited by Doves, the first guest editors that they've ever used for a match day programme at Manchester City. And it has Pep Guardiola on the front, and that is their choice. They said for his 1,000 matches, we want Pep Guardiola on the cover. So there's Pep Guardiola, fists raised in celebration. There's a poppy on there as well. And if you go to the back page, there is a sort of fold-out montage of various images of Pep Guardiola throughout his managerial career at Barcelona B, Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Manchester City, with a white number 1000 behind all of those little Peps.
I love Doves as well. That's fantastic.
Well,
excellent.
Make sure you get a copy of the programme.
I will. Well,
read it.
Could be a very emotional occasion then for Manchester City fans. Could be some tears. Could be caught by the river if you're not careful. Manchester City, Liverpool on the way. Hello, Dion Dublin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, very good, thank you. And really looking forward to this. And I know it's the obvious thing to say, but with Arsenal having slipped up, what we're looking for is who is the most likely to challenge them. We might not get the answer today, but in that context, it's doubly important.
It is. Goals, goals, goals. There you go. I've said it. We're going to get goals today. It's going to be all action. Both sides are going to be going for it. No one's going to sit in, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Hoping for and expecting. I mean, it tends to change, actually, Dion, doesn't it? There was a period that we went through where all of the really big head-to-heads in the Premier League seemed to disappoint. But actually, I feel like for the last few years, the really, really big games have often been really good games.
Yeah, and I think this will be one. I think both of these sides are probably going to do exactly what you asked me. Is this going to be one of those games where you can find out who's the closest to Arsenal? I think both of these sides are going to go, right, we need to put a marker down today. I don't think either manager is going to think, well, listen, let's not lose it. That's not the mindset of the manager. So I think both teams will go for it. They have to, otherwise they will lose the game. I think if somebody sits in, they will lose the game. If somebody tries to play on the counter-attack, they will lose the game.
I think last night was a helpful result for the neutral at this match, because it means that, you know, Arsenal have continued unbeaten, but they still have a strong lead at the top of the table. So therefore, it is stating the bleeding obvious, isn't it? But they will both feel, Manchester City and Liverpool, that they have to win this, because I feel that this season with Arsenal, if they carry on from where they are now and continue strongly, you know, pressure is going to come into it at some point because of the recent history, because of the fact that Mikel Arteta's been there for 6 years next month, because they've not won the Premier League since 2004. So pressure is going to come into this, and the chasers, probably most notably Manchester City and Liverpool, want to be the ones who are putting that pressure on.
I think that's where Arsenal, if they do fall down, will be being chased. They haven't been, chased for some time. They've always been the chaser. And I believe that if they are going to fall down because their form is so good, that if they do get caught, if they don't be as consistent as we've seen them be, it's because they're being chased and they're not used to being chased, and they don't like it or they don't know how to handle it.
It's been interesting to see Arne Slot sort of go back to the tried and tested in recent weeks, and we'll get the team news in about 15 minutes time, just under. Would you expect, given the performances against Villa and Real Madrid, that we might see the sort of last season's Liverpool, or will some of these £100 million plus players be more likely to start?
Well, you know what? Why wouldn't you want to see the old Liverpool from last season or a couple of seasons? Because they're just very consistent. We're talking about the three midfield players, aren't we? Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, who I think's been their most consistent footballer. And I don't care what position he plays in, the energy he puts in, his performances. I hate to liken him to a Manchester United player, but when it comes to consistency, he's pretty much a Dennis Irwin. You'll always get a 7 or an 8 every single game. You can rely on him to play in any position, and you can back him all the way.
Of all the players I thought you might say there, Dennis Irwin was not high up the list. The one that people tend to compare him to is Gerrard, not necessarily... We're not talking sort of quality levels. It's a pointless comparison. Times change, players change. But running style, how he strikes a football, just every so often you can almost see that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you take the running style out of it, and you do talk about Dennis Irwin and the way he strikes the ball. Dennis can do it with left and right foot, so I just think he's the same. I think he just has everything. He offers everything all the time. And as a manager, to have a player like that you know is going to do a job, regardless of who he's playing against. He has no fear. He could play in a number 10 role. No problem at all. He's that good, and I think he relies on him a lot. So that three in the midfield, Steve, if they've been doing it for the last 2 or 3 years and they do it all the time, why change it, regardless of how much a player you've paid for a player?
Another thing, John, that would be great to see for the neutral or for fans of Manchester City is if Phil Foden's Dortmund performance can be reflective of a kind of return to the peak of his powers.
Yeah, and I think generally the way it feels like they're in the groove. You know, they're maybe not absolutely at their best. I think that's 20 minutes or whatever it was against Borussia Dortmund in the second half showed us that. But by then they'd got the lead that was big enough to eventually see them through to the victory. But you know, I sense a satisfaction with Pep Guardiola that he has his team at the moment more or less where he wants them. Maybe I'm being suckered in by that, but if that's the impression he's trying to give to the outside world, then it's worked with me.
I would imagine then that's when they're the most dangerous, I would imagine, John, when all their players are feeling comfortable, and you can see by the celebrations as well, every single player's involved in the celebrations. I mean, you know, a lot of people may have wrote Phil Foden off briefly for a short period of time because he hasn't played, we haven't seen him, and now he's back on the pitch again.
Back in the England squad.
Yeah, back in the England squad, and people are going, oh yes, of course, he's a very good player, isn't he? It's never gone away. I've always said it, you just need to play these players, and when you play them in the right position, they're outstanding.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the time being. So Manchester City, Liverpool in full from here at the Etihad at 4:30. Right now, if you head over to Sports Extra, you'll get second half commentary of Brentford 0, Newcastle 1, Villa 2, Bournemouth 0 is Sports Extra 2, Palace 0, Brighton 0, Sports Extra 3. We're off back to the City ground. Forest Leeds United, the second half with Sue Smith and Ali Bruceport.
Thank you, Steve. Nottingham Forest players are back on the pitch. They are waiting for their opponent's Leeds to come out of the dressing room, but Sean Dyche, the manager, has already taken up his position. He's going to be there for the entirety of the second half, and he's staring at his players. Right, I've given you the message. You know what to do. Go out and do it. Just looking at the stats, actually, Sue, from the first half, and you were saying this, you got the feeling, but the stats very much in Nottingham Forest's favour. So Leeds have had that one shot on target and scored. Yeah. Forest have been the better team, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. You know, you would say, I think they had 10 shots, didn't they, compared to Leeds 1, and obviously the one was the goal, and that has been a problem for Leeds United, that they haven't scored enough goals, created enough chances. At times the centre forward's been quite isolated. You can see that they are trying to get in and around him in this game, but not created enough. And is that down to Nottingham Forest's very good structure off the ball? Maybe it is. I think defensively, as soon as they lose the ball, they get into 4-4-2 really, really quickly, and Leeds have struggled to break that down at times. But yeah, Nottingham Forest have certainly been the better side in the first half.
And the Nottingham Forest scarves are up again, just as they were before kick-off. Mull of Kintyre, a cappella now, as the second half is about to get underway. So yes, 4 Premier League games, all starting at 2 o'clock. You can hear whichever one you like via 5 Live Sports Extra. The Sports Extra stream's available via the BBC Sounds app, and over on BBC 2 at the moment, Manchester City's women 1-0 up at Everton, win that game. They go top of the WSL. The highlights of the WSL action on BBC One tonight after Match of the Day. So Match of the Day 10:30, the women's football show at 11:35. 6:06 follows commentary of Manchester City Liverpool here on 5 Live, and we are underway in the second half. Nottingham Forest playing from right to left in the red shirts, white shorts, red socks. They're underway in the second half at Brentford 2. John Southall.
We are Brentford 0, Newcastle 1, but a brilliant early chance for Brentford. Damsgaard to Yarmulke on the right of the area, 10 yards out. Good save by Pope with his legs. Brentford 0, Newcastle 1.
And 3 o'clock kickoffs underway in the Scottish Premiership. Leaders Hearts at home to Dundee United. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, still 0-0 here. We've played almost 5 minutes. Hearts seeing plenty of the ball, as you would expect. Their confidence, like their league standing, is pretty sky high. They're 9 points ahead of Celtic, albeit they played a match more. Still 0-0 here, but plenty of early promise from the home side.
Forest 1, Leeds 1. Forest, first attack of the second half. Nico Williams trying to dance onto his right foot. Anderson backs him up because Williams was tackled, and Anderson came in to try and win the loose ball. Aronson has done that for Leeds. Prods a ball down the right. That's a good tackle by Sangare. Stop stacking his tracks there. Now down on the floor's Aronson, ball between his legs. Whole heap of bodies involved there. Eventually Leeds have the ball back with Longstaff, and Longstaff passes across to Biol. So 1-1 Next breaking play, I'll remind you the two-team lineups. Former England international Sue Smith watching the game with us here this afternoon. Here's Rodon, who I know is in Sue's fantasy football team, which we were discussing.
I know.
Before the game.
Yeah, he's done all right for me. He scored a few,
few
goals from set pieces.
Good pick, a couple of goals this season. FPL podcast from BBC Sport is the BBC's fantasy football offering. If you fancy to listen to that, comes out every Wednesday on the BBC Sounds app. Throw in for Nottingham Forest. So their team, Matt Sells in goal, Savona Milenkovic, Murillo and Williams. Elliot Anderson, Ibrahim Sangare, the midfield two. Douglas Luiz is missing today. Ndoye, Gibbs-White and Dominguez in support of Igor Jesus. We've got Murillo and Sangare on yellow cards in the game so far. And Leeds have Perry in goal, Bogle, Rodon, Biol and Goodmanson, their back four. Ethan Ampadu in front of them. Aronson, Longstaff, Stach and Okafor and Lucas Mecha. The goal scorer, the centre forward, starting in place of Dominic Calvert-Lewin this afternoon, having another wrestle with Nikola Milenkovic and not winning that one. Forest clear up to the halfway line. Jesus flicks it over the top here. Jesus trying to get on the return ball from Ndoye into the penalty area. Can he get the cut back? Jesus' shot blocked at the near post and behind for the Nottingham Forest corner. Very nearly 2-1 to Forest.
Oh, it's a brilliant bit of play from Nottingham Forest. We say how quickly they can go from back to front, and it's great play. The centre forward, Jesus, has done well. He links play, he drops in, and when he drops in, other players go in and around and they stretch the play. And this time it was Ndoye on that side, cuts it back to Jesus, who continued his run, and it just deflects. I think it's off Bogle, isn't it, who gets back and goes out for a corner. But really good bit of play there from Nottingham Forest, and Jesus he's been key in a lot of Forest attacking moves.
Awani on the bench, Chris Wood still out injured. Kalimuendo, signed in the summer, started midweek, also on the bench in terms of the attacking options for Nottingham Forest. Here's their corner, away swinger. Gibbs-White sort of jumps for it but was never going to win the header. Dominguez goes racing back to get the ball for Nottingham Forest, passes to Elliot Anderson, diagonal pass from him comes into the edge of the area. Rodon powerfully heads that away to his Welsh international teammate Nico Williams. Williams sees an opportunity to go high and wide to the right here. Biol this time climbs, nods the ball away, and it goes out for a Nottingham Forest throw on the right. So Forest 1, Leeds 1, and Sean Dyche just wanting his team to get into this bit of rhythm and build up a head of steam and sort of make Leeds crack under the pressure. Williams back to Murillo. Murillo with his left foot swings it lazily at the ball and knocks it back to his goalkeeper Matt Sells. You can see the whole pitch in front of him here. Drives a long spinning ball down the inside right channel, but that is beyond everyone. Bounces twice in the Leeds penalty area, and Lucas Perry can collect. Sue.
You can certainly see though the Sean Dyche effect already though, can't you, on this Nottingham Forest side? They're not messing around with the ball at the back. They're not trying to play through the thirds. Very much they're trying to turn the opposition and get forward as quickly as possible. And just there where Sells, you can see Dominguez made a run from the midfield to the forward position, but he couldn't quite find him.
Biol's ball forward, headed away by Savona for Nottingham Forest. Leeds looking for a free kick on the left. Referee Jared Gillett says no. Forest continue play. Ndoye tries to dribble out of his own half. He's tackled. Stach turns and starts running at Nottingham Forest defenders. Plays it to his left. Okafor's got pace into the penalty area. Slide challenge on him. And the ball is behind for a Leeds corner. It's 1-1.
He's a real spark, isn't he, for Leeds United, Okafor? When he gets on the ball, you can see all the Leeds fans get really excited. He's got that real change of pace, wants to drive at the defenders, and just won his team a corner there.
He was on loan to Napoli last season, didn't play that much. The Italian champions, signed from AC Milan in the summer, but has looked impressive here so far this afternoon. He's looked a threat for Leeds. Rodon and Biol lurking on the edge of the penalty area. They start their runs. The delivery's high to the back post. Beyond Rodon. Shrill blast of the whistle from Gillett. There was a foul in there from a Leeds player. And so that is going to be a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Another goal in the WSL. Everton, Manchester City. Betty Glover.
Everton have pulled it back. Everton 1, City 1. Brilliant run by Payne down the right-hand side. Passed it to Kelly Gago, who controlled the ball well, turned. Her back was to goal and she heeled it into the back of the net. This has been coming just over 40 minutes gone. Everton 1, City 1.
Matt Sells has taken the free kick for Nottingham Forest. Rodon wins another header. Played high down the right by Longstaff. Straight out of play for a throw-in to Nottingham Forest in the left-back position. Earlier on today in the WSL, London City 4, Spurs 2, Liverpool 1, Brighton 1, West Ham 1, Leicester 1. Wednesday night this week, we've got full commentary on Manchester United at home to Paris Saint-Germain in the Women's Champions League. Aronson, good feet in a tight space, fouled, wins a free kick for Leeds. Play continued for a little bit there, and then Williams and Ampadu, the two Welsh teammates, that was not a good tackle from Ampadu on Williams, but those two are okay with each other. Leeds are going to get the free kick. Dundee Rangers, there's been a goal. Gavin Wallace.
Dundee 0, Rangers 1, Alec. Great ball in, actually, from a corner. Nico Raskan, the Belgian international, was there to head home by McCracken. It's a great start for Rangers. Dundee 0, Rangers 1.
So, in terms of the Scottish Premiership table, starting the day, Hearts 29 points, 9 points ahead of Celtic on 20. They play Kilmarnock at 4 o'clock. Hibs 18, Falkirk 16, and Rangers on 15, but ahead at Dundee, as Gavin just told us. Let's see what Leeds can do with the free kick. Sue just spotted there. Nicholas, was it?
Dominguez, yeah.
Who was
just
hobbling.
limping.
Right, OK, so let's see whether Nottingham Forest are going to have to make an early change second half. Longstaff, pacey delivery into the penalty area, dive header away. Aronson's shot is scuffed into the box. Forest have cleared it. Clever turn from Ndoye. Now there's Dominguez having to do some running. And he is running freely, but he couldn't get to that pass. Lucas Perry clears with his right foot, high one down the middle of the pitch. Milenkovic, I think, fouled by Mecha. Then Milenkovic has fallen on Mecha. He's down hurt. Forest have the ball. Palace, Brighton, Andy Stevenson.
Still goalless here, but a big chance for Palace with Wharton, Sarr and Mateta all involved in the build-up. It seemed for a moment like the opportunity had gone, but the ball eventually fell to Daichi Kamada. He skewed a shot wide. Still Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Right, Lucas Mecha is still down, flat on his back. Time to go to Villa Park. Sahel Sahi.
Where we've played 7 minutes of the second half here, Alistair. Still Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0, but Andoni Iraola ain't messing around. He's made a change and he subbed the sub. So Alex Jimenez, who came on to replace Adam Smith, his captain, who was off due to concussion, he's been brought off, and on comes Lewis Cook. So Bournemouth have made the change, but they're still trailing here at Villa Park to Aston Villa by 2-0.
Commentary of that game's on Sports Extra 2. Palace Brighton is on Sports Extra 3. Brentford Newcastle on Sports Extra. The decision goes against Nottingham Forest here. Ampadu fouled. Free kick for Leeds inside their own half. Hearts against Dundee United. Jane Lewis.
Still 0-0 here. For all Hearts possession, it was actually Dundee United who've had the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled offside, much to the relief of the partisan crowd inside Tynecastle. Half chance there for Hearts there, but yeah, it was Dundee United. Ivan Dolix, whose shot was ruled offside. He thought he'd put them ahead, he hadn't. Hearts seen plenty of the ball though, and they're pushing forward every second you look up in this one. It's 0-0 though here at Tynecastle.
9 minutes gone in the second half here at the City Ground in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds 1. Full commentary of Manchester City against Liverpool on the way here on 5 Live. Goal at Brentford, John Southall.
Brentford have the equaliser. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1. You will not be surprised to hear it came from a Coyote long throw. Pope just didn't deal with it, and there was Sharda to nod it in. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1.
Jakabiyol is on the ball inside the centre circle for Leeds. Still Forest 1, Leeds 1. Team news is in at the Etihad Stadium, so next break in play here. John Murray will be able to bring us that. Let's see what Mecha can do with this for Leeds. He'll hit that cross straight at Milenkovic, blocks it at close range. Well worked by Williams and Dominguez down the left-hand side for Nottingham Forest. Clever ball from Dominguez outside of his right foot into the path here of Igor Jesus. He holds it up on the left-hand side, looks for the runners. His ball back into midfield is deflected, took it away from Elliot Anderson. Now Goodmanson makes a driving run from left back for Leeds United, flying past Savona here, who's trying to stick with him shoulder to shoulder. Goodmanson still going into the penalty area. What a run in the cutback there, blocked by Milenkovic, and out it will go, I think, for the Leeds throw. Yes, it will. Leeds United will get the throw. So team news from the Etihad Stadium comes from John Murray.
Yes, the Manchester City team is Donnarumma, Mateus Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol and O'Reilly, Bernardo Silva and Gonzalez, Cherki, Foden, Doku and Haaland. So Reinders, Savino and Stones all on the bench. 3 changes from the Champions League. And Liverpool, same team as against Real Madrid. So Mamadashvili, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberg, McAllister, Salah, Soboslai, Wirtz and Ekitike, with Isak among the substitutes.
Dion Dublin alongside John for commentary. 4:30 kickoff at the Etihad Stadium here on 5 Live. Mecha is OK. Leeds about to take a long throw. After we've seen what they do with that, we'll take you to Dundee Rangers. There's been another goal in that game. Mecha's into the penalty area for Leeds. It's 1-1. Forest defenders in their red shirts lined up on the edge of the 6-yard box. I can see Sean Dyche in the gravelly voice barking instructions. Their massive throw into the penalty area, headed up in the air by Murillo. Beale tries to win the next one, chested down here, and it's driven in by Ampadu. Nottingham Forest haven't quite got it clear yet. Eventually they do, and Aronson goes back to the halfway line. So Dundee Rangers, another goal, Gavin Wallace.
And it goes to Rangers again this time. They're just making it really easy to walk through this Dundee defence, Ali. They're now up 2-0. Mikey Moore got it on the edge of the box, and cool as you like, bottom corner, Dundee 0, Rangers 2.
And the Wales-Argentina Autumn International is underway at the Principality Stadium. There's been a try, Owen Gwyneth.
Yeah, Argentina draw first blood, Wales 0, Argentina 7. Pedro Delgado, the tight head, the Harlequins tight head with the score. After a driving line out, fell short, pick and go by the forwards, and the tight head crossed. Wales 0, Argentina 7.
Triple change on the way here for Nottingham Forest. Give you details of that in a second. It's Forest 1, Leeds 1. Murillo to his left. Nico Williams is under pressure from Bogle. And then it becomes a 50-50, and the ball just ends up getting thumped between the feet of Longstaff and Murillo, and the throw-in is given. Well, Leeds thought they had the throw. Assistant referee's changed his mind. Forest fans love that. Longstaff is not best pleased.
No, he's not. What a signing he's been, though, Longstaff. I think he's done so well for Leeds. He is that real sort of leader and presence in the middle of the park, real energy and physicality about him. But he certainly wasn't happy with that decision.
He was not. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1. Still Palace 0, Brighton 0. And Aston Villa leading Bournemouth 2-0. So 3 changes here at Forest Leeds. Amari Hutchinson gets on for Nicolas Dominguez, who did seem to have a problem in the early stages of this second half. Sangare's coming off in the midfield to be replaced by the ever popular Ryan Yates. And Taiwo Awoniyi is going to come on for Igor Jesus. In the WSL, half-time Everton, Manchester City, Betty Glover.
Everton 1, City 1. Everton really grew into this. They had to manage wave after wave of City attack in the early stages, which eventually led to Miedemar's opener. She's extended her record as the top scorer in WSL history, 90 goals now. But brilliant response from the home side. Kelly Gago flicking it into the bottom corner on the turn. Scored in her last 3 games. There's nothing in it at the break. Everton 1, City 1.
Another try in the rugby as well, Owen Gwyneth.
Yeah, now Wales 0, Argentina 14, 11 minutes gone. A break down the left-hand side, a kick through, and Piscantelli, the fly half, winning the race to dot down. A second quick hammer blow for Wales. Wales 0, Argentina 14.
Commentary available via BBC Radio Wales on the BBC Sounds app. Forest 1, Leeds 1, cross into the Leeds penalty area. They're trying to get it away, the visitors here. Savona has won it back for Nottingham Forest. They can't get that cross in. Hutchinson is now on the field, gets an early touch, he's tackled, and it's going to be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. So positive stuff from Sean Dyche, the triple change.
Yeah, it is, and I think probably Yates and Sangare would have been quite close who was going to start in that position. I actually thought Hutchinson might start it with no Hudson-Odoi, so chance for these coming on.
Anderson, cross from deep inside to that Leeds box, headed away by Stack. Murillo comes steaming across the Leeds half to get to that ball first. Fires the pass into the feet of Ndoye. Ndoye up against Bogle, gets a good cross into the penalty area. Awoniyi went for that, didn't quite make contact. The ball's gone all the way through to the right. Savona is there. Yates is calling for it behind him, just outside that Leeds penalty area on the right. Back to Savona, cross in towards the near post. Goodmanson heads it away to his left, and it goes out for another Nottingham Forest throw.
You just really feel like Nottingham Forest that are pushing now, and Ndoye especially on this left-hand side. Good delivery into the box. There's 3 or 4 players there. One, he just mistimes his jump, can't get the header.
Hutchinson down, no free kick. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Leeds playing up towards Mecha. They've cleared it up towards the halfway line. Ladies at Villa, Sahel Sahi.
Still Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0. We've played an hour, but Bournemouth are really pushing to get a goal back in this game. A corner was floated in to the far post, and Evan Nielsen drifted away from his marker and hit the post with a header. It's about to be a triple change that Andoni Iraola is about to make. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0.
Triple change made by Nottingham Forest here has had some effect. Savona's low cross has just been cleared away by Leeds. This is relentless pressure from Nottingham Forest at the moment. You can hear the home fans getting behind their team. Dan Ndoye on the left-hand side for Forest. Takes Bogle on the outside. Another cross comes in, it's overhead. It goes behind for the goal kick, but Sean Dyche applauds. He likes what he's seeing from his team at the moment. Palace Brighton latest. Andy Stevenson.
Well, drama here, Ali. Brighton thought they had a penalty. It was given on the pitch by referee Tim Robinson as Jorginho looked to have been tripped by Adam Wharton, but Robinson, the ref, was called to the monitor and he overturned his own decision and gave a yellow card to Jorginho for simulation. So it remains 0-0, and Jeremy Pino is on for Crystal Palace in place of Adam Wharton.
Brentford-Newcastle latest, John Southall.
Still Brentford 1, Newcastle 1. Bit of controversy here. Ouattara went flying in the penalty area under a challenge from Dan Burn. He got booked for diving. VAR took a look at it. Burn definitely caught him on the foot from our view, but Ouattara did make a lot of it, and it wasn't given the penalty. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1.
Into the last half hour at the City Ground, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Forest 1, Leeds 1. This is building nicely, this second half, Sue.
Yeah, it is, and you just feel, because of the pressure that Nottingham Forest are putting on Leeds, they have to hold out Leeds United. We know that they'll come back into the game, but yeah, I think the substitutions have really give Nottingham Forest just a lift, a bit more energy. Thought Hutchison straight away wanted to get on the ball, and he linked up well, didn't he, with Savona?
Yeah, played in the Premier League for Ipswich last season, former Chelsea man. Hasn't had much of a look in here at Nottingham Forest as yet, the big money signing in the summer. So he's wide right, and Doy is now over on the left-hand side. Awani through the middle, and Gibbs White chasing hard off the ball here in the number 10 role. Brendan Aronson silkily moves onto the ball inside the Nottingham Forest half. Leeds work it to the left. Ampadu, low curling ball out to Okafor, goes charging here at Savona, beating for pace on the outside. Savona gets a crucial touch on the ball, which just held Okafor up because he was past him there. He thought and about to get his cross in. Hutchinson plays it up to Awani. Awani is down and up again. Does well, the big man there for Nottingham Forest. Tackled again, and the throw-in goes to Leeds.
He does really well, doesn't he? He's trying to hold the ball up. Bjol's trying to close him down, and sort of a little bit of a nudge in the back. He goes down but still keeps hold of the ball. It's exactly what you want from your centre forward. Just keep hold of the ball, wait for players to come in and around you.
Sean Dyche throws his arms out wide in conversation with fourth official Anthony Taylor. That's got to be the toughest gig, I think, when you get your assignments for the weekend. Fourth official in between those managers, rabbiting away. Daniel Farke's having a go as well. Forest 1, Leeds 1. Here come Leeds down the right. Bogle passes to Mecha. Mecha wide on the right. Cross blocked by Murillo. Out for a Leeds throw. Another try. Wales, Argentina. Owain Gwyneth.
Wales are on the scoreboard. A superb team try, forwards and backs combining. Wales playing with pace and power and plenty in width. Thomas Williams at the right place at the right time to get onto a lovely offload by captain Jack Williams under the sticks. Wales 7, Argentina 14, 15 minutes gone.
Straight to Brentford, John Southall.
Brentford 1, Newcastle 1, but what a hit this was from Igor Thiago on the volley just inside the penalty area, tipped over by Pope as Pope comes out and gathers a cross. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1.
Plenty of action going on this afternoon. Corner for Leeds, taken by Longstaff into the near post, headed away. Aronson flicks it up with his left foot, hits it with his right. Big deflection, up in the air it goes. Header is not going to beat Matt Sells. It was really awkward. Mecha was sort of underneath it, couldn't get any power. Sells throws it out to Ndoye, can't control it. Forrest trying to get away quickly down the left, and that will be a throw into Leeds.
Yeah, it was a difficult chance, wasn't it, for Mecha? Aronson controlled it with his knee, and then he's flicked it over the top, and Mecha's underneath it trying to adjust his feet, and all he can do is, it's just a sort of back header, if you like, and easy save for Sells.
So 4:35 live, Manchester City, Liverpool. If you love your F1, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix race gets underway at 5 o'clock. Full coverage on Sports Extra of that. And if you love your NFL, your action tonight, your commentary game, the Lions at the Commanders, kicks off at 9. Dion Dublin, by the way, has got in touch, Sue, and said delighted to hearing you on 5 Live this afternoon. So you work with Dion quite regularly. He's in action at Anfield, and he said he was chuffed to hear you at the City Ground. So as are we all. Throw in for Forest, left back position. It's 1-1, and Sue and I are just waiting to see whether one of these teams can get themselves ahead and set us up for a really thrilling last 25 minutes or so. Awani lets the throw go past him, and it goes out of play actually for a Leeds throw. And Ampadu, a bit of rugby skills there, picked it up on the bounce and darted round Sean Dyche, made sure he didn't crash into him, then went running past him to take the throw and nearly caught a Dyche right arm in the chops there. Throw in for Leeds. Bogle takes, lobs it into the Forest midfield. Aronson heads it up in the air, and then Stack is down, no free kick. Bogle takes it past Ndoye. Bogle is good going forward with the ball at his feet. Tackled this time. Williams, challenge on him from Stack. Both players down hurt, and the referee is pointing and giving the decision to Nottingham Forest. And it's just getting a little tetchy down here now. Elliot Anderson and Jayden Bogle wrapped up in a little clinch. Ethan Ampadu gets involved, pushing and shoving, players gathering. And at the moment it's the Nottingham Forest player, Nico Williams, who's still down hurt.
Well, it's been a real physical game, hasn't it? Both sides are going for the win. They're not happy with just a point, but yeah, it's just players coming together, that little bit extra physicality. Thankfully, Williams is up on his feet. But I think that's probably why Stack came into that Leeds United side. He does provide that extra little bit of physicality, if you like, in the middle of the park.
Penalty, Aston Villa. Bournemouth, Sahel Sahi.
A penalty for Bournemouth. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0. Everett Nielsen headed the ball onto the arm of Rodgers. They did check it. It's been given. Semenyo's about to take it. Just left of the ball. Oh, it's saved by Martinez. Low down to his right. Scrambled inside the penalty area. You can hear the roar around Villa Park. You should see the celebrations from Unai Emery. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 0, penalty missed.
Hutchinson's crossing is headed in by Gibbs White for Nottingham Forest. The substitutions from Sean Dyche have made a difference. Bit of skill from Hutchinson, searching cross, found the main man Gibbs White, and he's guided his header into the bottom corner. Nottingham Forest 2, Leeds 1.
Well, you've got to say it's deserved. Nottingham Forest have been the side that have certainly been pushing to get that winner, and it's brilliant play on the right-hand side from Hutchinson. He's just come on the pitch. We said he looks lively. It's a lovely crossfield pass initially from Murillo, and when it falls to Hutchinson, you think, is he going to go on the outside? He doesn't. He cuts in onto his left foot, and it's a brilliant delivery to Gibbs White, who gets in between two defenders and just glances it into that far corner.
Third goal of the season for Morgan Gibbs White, second in the Premier League. There's been a goal in the game at Tynecastle as well. Jane Lewis.
There has indeed, and it's gone to Hearts. It's Hearts 1, Dundee United 0. But I tell you what, this game is end-to-end stuff. It's Alexander Kizaridis who scored for Hearts. He looped the ball in towards the opposition goal, and their goalkeeper, who's at it again, went to make a save. The ball snuck under him. I have to say it was bad fortune from his point of view, but the Hearts players were loving it. Up the other end, a brilliant save to keep Dundee United out as Fata put in a brilliant shot from the left-hand side. It is all happening here, unfolding. It's Hearts 1, Dundee United 0.
City Ground has come alive in Nottingham. Nottingham Forest lead Leeds 2-1. Forest haven't won in the Premier League since the opening weekend of the season. John Southall watching Brentford Newcastle.
Still Brentford 1, Newcastle 1, but this now the game that we were hoping for. Nick Pope just receiving some treatment, took a heavy fall. We saw Harvey Barnes on the volley, 25 yards out, great strike, fizzed over the crossbar. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1.
Still a bit of edge in this game. The two number 8s this time snapping into tackles, Longstaff and Anderson, and Longstaff down, wins the free kick. Just gave Anderson a little hit on the legs, didn't like the challenge too much. Leeds have taken their free kick. Rodon's on the ball inside his own half, high diagonal to the edge of the Forest penalty area, headed away by Nicolo Savona. Hutchinson, delicious cross by Amari Hutchinson.
Oh,
I went all Sean Connery there for a second.
I was brilliant.
Great cross.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
For the Gibbs White header. We'll take you to Palace Brighton in just a second. More physical challenges here. This one from Ndoye. Good skill. Little step over. He beat Longstaff there. Referee wants to play advantage. Forest continue the attack. Williams is away. It's another foul by Ampadu. He keeps going down the left for Forest here, digs a little ball to Anderson, flag stays down, cross comes in into the Leeds penalty area. Hutchinson tries to bring it down, Savona's behind him, another cross comes in right across the face of goal and across the dead ball line. Still in play here. Anderson back to Williams looking for a teammate behind him, that is Dan Ndoye. Forest looking for a third goal which could potentially kill this game. Williams dummies across. He's got support from Anderson wide on the left behind him. Back it comes to Williams. This time the cross comes in too close to Perry, and in fact Perry watches it sail over his head and go behind for the goal kick. So Crystal Palace Brighton latest. Andy Stevenson.
Still 0-0. Another big chance for Crystal Palace. Another one that fell to Daichi Kamada. A superb flowing move from Palace, but Kamada put his shot into the side netting. It feels like there's a winner in this for someone. Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Sean Longstaff was booked for his challenge earlier in that move. He's just received the yellow card. It's still Forest 2, Leeds 1. 20 minutes remaining here. Dundee Rangers latest comes from Gavin Wallace.
Still 2-0 to Rangers at the moment. Goals from Rascan and Mikey Moore on loan from Spurs, but his first goal at the edge of the box. Cool, calm and collective. Rangers with all the pressure and all the goals. Dundee 0, Rangers 2.
Leeds have won a throw. They've now got to chase this game. 2-1 down away from home, having lost 4 out of their 5 games away from home in the Premier League this season. Gudmundsson, their left back, the Swede, has the ball above his head. Players making runs, trying to get themselves into space. Stack can't control it. Aronson gets a foot on the ball. It's gone behind for the goal kick to Nottingham Forest. Wales-Argentina in the Rugby Union being watched by Owain Gwyneth.
Wales have a second try. They turned down an easy 3 points for the Sticks. Went for the try and they're rewarded. First charge by Jack Morgan. Dewi Lake then bundles himself over. Dan Edwards just converted. Wales are level, 14 apiece against Argentina.
Yeah, so commentary on that at the moment. BBC Radio Wales, you'll find that via the BBC Sounds app. From 4 o'clock, you'll be able to pick it up on Sports Extra and Sports Extra 2 as well. And Sue Smith has just held 3 fingers up to me, which means, Sue, that Leeds are about to make 3 changes. More drama at Brentford for John Southall.
It's all unravelling for Newcastle. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1. A penalty to Brentford. Dan Burn, challenge on Ouattara. He's been shown a yellow card. That's his second yellow of the game, and he is going off. But we are still looking at this, so he's just been kept on the pitch for now. There's a bit of a scuffle going on as well between the 2 sets of players. So come back to me, Ali, but at the moment, Newcastle down to 10 and a Brentford penalty, 1-1.
OK, 1-1. Commentary of that one on Sports Extra. Villa Bournemouth on Sports Extra 2. Villa lead that 2-0. Still goalless between Palace and Brighton. That's on Sports Extra 3. Dan James, Joel Pirro and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are waiting to come on for Leeds. But the Leeds defenders have got to switch on. They're 2-1 down and they're defending a corner. And the Forest fans are on their feet and doing the classic thing of trying to suck this ball into the back of that Leeds net away to our left. Then it falls silent. Nico Williams holds his left arm in the air. Runs at the ball, low delivery into the near post. Mecha heads it away. Ball bounces a couple of times, falls to Savona. Savona's pass to Anderson. Mecha's there, barges into him, and Nottingham Forest will get the free kick. So
yeah, you just felt like Daniel Farke needed to do something. Nottingham Forest 2-1 up, but looking for more, and you know that they've got options on the bench that can come on and change the game, and these 3 certainly can.
Right, so the substitutions, Dan James coming on for Brendan Aronson, Calvert-Lewin the straight swap up top for Mecha, and Joel Pirro coming on for Sean Longstaff. So Dyche made the triple change. That had an impact for Nottingham Forest. Daniel Farke will hope the same for Leeds.
Yeah, I think because Leeds like to play the 3 midfielders quite flat, whereas you think with Pirro now, him coming on, he's going to be just in and around Dominic Calvert-Lewin, more like a number 10, if you like, more of an attacking midfielder. And Dan James, I just think with his pace, he always causes teams problems. A fully fit Dan James is a real threat for any team.
Oh yeah. Forest 2, Leeds 1 then. What have we got? 17 minutes plus added time to be played. I told you about these yellow post-it notes as well, didn't I? So Phil Wise back today producing for us. Phil and I last worked together in 2016, and I said to Sue, just watch out for the post-it notes with valuable information scribbled on them that occasionally get passed under your nose.
And lovely biscuits.
Oh, tremendous.
Tremendous.
Yeah, I remember that too from many years ago. Nice little first-time layoff from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Stack lobs a ball over the top of the Forest defence, but Murillo lets it bounce and heads it powerfully back to his goalkeeper, Matt Sells. Sells bowls it out underarm to Murillo. Murillo's ball to Williams. The closer Nottingham Forest get to this win, the more tense it will get. So, the last we heard, Dan Burn was heading off for Newcastle. They were going to be down to 10 men at Brentford. VAR were looking at it. John Southall.
That is the case. He has been sent off, but remarkable what's going on here. It's taken an absolute age for this penalty to be taken, but the goalkeepers are now being swapped. Nick Pope, who took a very heavy fall about 5-10 minutes ago, is coming off, and Aaron Ramsdale is coming on the goalkeeper, so his first job will be to try and save the penalty. Remember, it's Brentford 1, Newcastle 1.
High drama in the Premier League this afternoon, and we've still got commentary on Manchester City Liverpool to follow. Now Dan Ndoye down off the ball, holding his face. Referee's happy to let this play. Nottingham Forest intercept the pass. That was Elliot Anderson who did the job for Forest. Gets it back from Awani, looks for Awani again down the left hand side, shoulder to shoulder with Joe Rodon. Had the strength there, the Welsh centre back, to hold his man off. He passes it to Biol. Biol looks to his right for Leeds, plays it across to Bogle. So penalty coming at Brentford, and Ramsdale coming off the bench. He's tripped himself up there, hasn't he? Oh, Nico Williams has won the free kick. Dan James is right next to him. I thought Williams tripped himself up, but Nottingham Forest get the free kick and they lead Leeds 2-1.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know if Dan James maybe just caught his feet, but it's quite difficult for us to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe he caught him and then that caused him to trip himself up, possibly. So. Right, Evangelos Marinakis is sitting about 10 rows in front of us in that very comfortable throne, big screen in front of him. Not looking, well, I wouldn't say nervous, not looking totally enamoured, but I was just saying there, so the closer this gets to the full-time whistle, they've not won since the opening weekend of the season for us. This is massive, isn't it?
Absolutely massive for them, and he'll know that, so will Sean Dyche.
Right, to Brentford for that penalty, John Southall.
Finally, it must be at least 5 or 6 minutes since the decision was given for the penalty in the VAR check, and Igor Thiago has been holding the ball for a very long time, the Brazilian. Remember, Brentford 1, Newcastle 1, a hush around the stadium. Thiago scores down the middle, and Brentford have the lead. It's taken a while to come, that penalty, but no mistake from Thiago. 7th league goal of the season. Brentford 2, Newcastle 1.
Free kick here for Nottingham Forest. All the drama. You can watch all the highlights tonight, available on the BBC iPlayer from 8 o'clock. Match of the day, BBC One at 10:30. And another goal at Aston Villa. Sahel.
Aston Villa lead now by 3-0 from a corner. It was very simple. Flicked on by Ross Barkley at the near post. Bournemouth, they're dejected. They're out. It seems to be maximum points heading here to Villa Park. Aston Villa 3, Bournemouth 0.
13 minutes to play here at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 2, Leeds 1. So Leeds have got to steel themselves. They've made the triple change. They've got to find a way to try and get themselves back into this game. Rodon's ball searching down the right, and Doy works hard, slides in and knocks it out for a throw-in to Leeds.
Yeah, they're trying to mix it up a little bit, Leeds. Obviously, they've got the three up top, and they've got Perrault just in and around Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But I've just watched Bogle, who's playing right back. He's just sprinted centrally to be in and around Dominic Calvert-Lewin, with Dan James being the wide right. So they are trying to mix things up to break this Nottingham Forest team down.
Those are the thoughts of Sue Smith here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Here's Biol up towards the halfway line. Another goal at Dundee. Gavin Wallace.
And it's for Mikey Moore. It's his second Rangers goal on loan from Spurs. It was about the third bite of the cherry. 2 and 3 attempts. McCracken makes a good save. Moore there ahead of everyone else to tap home. Dundee 0, Rangers 3.
Dan James on the ball inside the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Back to Ampadu, who's not scored in the Premier League in his career. Here's Dan James, little dribble, left-footed curler, good save. Flying to his right-hand side, Sells, another shot deflected wide and behind for a corner. Goodmanson hit it. In fact, it's gone behind for the goal kick, but the initial strike from Dan James looked like it was heading for the far corner, and Sells at full stretch made a really important intervention.
I really did, and it was an initial shot, I think, from Ampadu. It got blocked, and then it falls to Dan James and cuts in onto his left foot, and you can see Sells at full stretch manages to save it. You just think it's just going to sneak into that far corner. It comes through body, so it is a really good save. And then obviously the follow-up they can't take, but yeah, real positive there from Leeds United.
On the follow-up, I think the flag might have gone up for offside there, so it was Goodmanson who he hit a shot, it turned into a cross. Bogle was there in position, he knocked it wide of the goal, so would have been a goal kick, was off target, I think was offside. It's still goalless, by the way, between Aberdeen and Motherwell. Rangers cruising at Dundee, leading 3-0 as we heard. And Hearts lead Dundee United 1-0. Celtic Kilmarnock kicks off at 4 in the Scottish Premiership. Forest fans, they're appealing for a foul on their man Dannon Doy. Anderson doing the important job to rush in and make the tackle on Bogle. So Leeds just enjoying a couple of good minutes here and putting a bit of pressure on Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White's header has Nottingham Forest in front 2-1, and we've got 2 more substitutes about to come on for Leeds in Pascal Strauch and Jack Harrison, who's getting very detailed instructions from the manager, Daniel Farker, who's always very softly spoken, so I think in a stadium like this will really have to speak up to make himself heard. Ampadu's thrown to the penalty area, nodded down. James hits another shot, ball pinging around inside the box. Savona's there and just hurriedly clears it away for a Leeds throw. Sue.
Well, we said Nottingham Forest substitutes had made a difference. Exactly the same from Leeds United. Dan James straight into the action, obviously had that shot, he just had another shot, just putting it into a dangerous area, and it's Leeds now trying to get that equaliser.
Yeah, Leeds, long throw coming, double change coming too. 10 minutes left in the game. Full commentary of Manchester City, Liverpool on the way. 6:06 tonight from 6:30 until 8 as well, so you can have your say on the day's action. Massive throw again. Big header from Milenkovic, important one. The ball falls to Hutchinson, deep in the right back position. Clears it forward, Awani chases it. Bogle's clearance then hits Awani. Bogle gets a second bite at the cherry, volleys it high in the air, headed towards the halfway line. Gibbs-White, the ball beats him. Pirro is there. Volleys a pass with his left foot back to Goodmanson. Looks like we've got a very lively 10 minutes on the way. Obviously, if Forest get another one, Leeds are going to be open here, pushing for it.
Yeah.
Then that'll probably kill it. Leeds score. it's up for grabs.
Very interesting, yeah, and that's exactly, I think, what Leeds United will want to happen. They'll want Forest to come out of that shape so that they can expose them. Similarly for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Makes it very interesting.
2-1 Forest. Biol's ball to the right-hand side, chested down by James. James tries to use that pace to get outside Ndoye. Knocks it past him, but can't get onto the ball. Cleared away by Murillo, volleyed out of play by Ethan Ampadu. Dundee Rangers, we're heading back to Dens Park. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, goal's been chalked off, Ali, so it's back to 2-0 now. Mohamed Diomande was offside as the original shot came in. It went through his legs, interfering with the goalkeeper. Mikey Moore obviously stepped up and put home, but that's been chalked off. It's now back to Dundee 0, Rangers 2.
So Leeds making the substitutions now. Strauch and Harrison on. Hearts Dundee United, the leaders Hearts. Last we heard were leading. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, that's still the case. Hearts 1, Dundee United 0. They're ahead through that Kizaridis wonder goal that kind of snuck in under the keeper. I wonder maybe if the Dundee United keeper actually got a slight touch on the way to goal. But Dundee United are getting forward. They're just not quite being as clinical as the Hearts players are being in front of goal. So Hearts still leading this one by a goal to 0.
Strauch is on for Biol for Leeds, and Jack Harrison has come on at left back here. He's going to receive this ball. Goodmanson's gone off. He's chased by Hutchinson. The Forest fans love the effort from Amari Hutchinson, who makes the tackle. And it goes out for a Leeds throw, which Harrison takes back to Biol. So 8 minutes remaining. Forest 2, Leeds 1. Aston Villa look like they're getting 3 points this afternoon. They're 3-0 up at home to Bournemouth. Dramatic game at Brentford. Brentford 2, Newcastle 1. Newcastle down to 10 men. Dan Burns been sent off. And still Palace 0, Brighton 0. Here's Ampadu for Leeds. Forest have every man in the red shirts behind the ball, and with Leeds on the ball, it's gone quiet. We're going back to Villa Park again. Sahel Sahi.
Aston Villa have a fourth now here, Alistair. Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0. Once again from a corner, it was pushed out to the edge of the penalty area, and Tielemans was there, took a bit of a deflection and deceived Petrovic. It's all over for Bournemouth now. Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0.
Yeah, and Aston Villa, of course, coming off the back of European football in midweek. That is a big win for them. Dan James on the dribble on the right, left-footed cross, headed away and behind for a corner before Leeds take it. Everton, Manchester City in the WSL. Betty Glover.
Bunny Shaw has put City ahead again. This has been coming. She's had countless opportunities. They've gone wide, but this time there is no doubt. Header at the near post into the top corner. Everton 1, City 2.
6.5 minutes of the 90 remaining here at Nottingham Forest famous City ground. Nerves abound from the Nottingham Forest fans around us. Leeds have a corner. Forest lead 2-1. Matt Sell's 6-yard box is absolutely jam-packed with players from both teams, and Harrison goes very deep with the corner to the far post. Back header away and behind, will go behind for another corner. Forest were hoping for a free kick.
Yeah, I think they were, and it was, the delivery was to the far post, looking for Rodon. I think it's Yates that does well and manages to get the header just before Rodon does. Yeah, it's really good header from Yates. Good defending.
Nottingham Forest win the game. They'll go to 9 points. They'll be 1 point behind Burnley and West Ham. Another corner comes into their box. Calvert-Lewin's headed it wide. Got up well. Glanced the header wide of the left-hand post. Half a chance.
Yeah, it was half a chance, and we know how good Dominic Calvert-Lewin is in the air. He's got such a good leap. He gets right up above and heads the ball down, but it's just wide of that far post. He offers so much, but just probably doesn't score enough goals. Not as clinical as what he'd like to be and what Leeds United would like him to be.
Look at the effort. Sean Dyche, like a conductor at the Royal Albert Hall there, looking for the grand finish from the orchestra, winding his arms around just to try and get some more effort from his players in this last 6 minutes plus added time. Are we going to get a goal at Palace Brighton, I wonder? Andy Stevenson.
We're into the closing minute plus added time to go here. It's still 0-0, all very tense. We've had plenty of subs thrown on by both teams, which has disrupted the flow a bit too, but there is still time for a winner and somebody to be the hero in the derby. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Nottingham Forest still leading Leeds by 2-1 here on 5 Live. Nico Williams is about to take a throw. Attacking position for Nottingham Forest on the left. The fans have found their voice with Nottingham Forest on the attack. Awani, the ball has gone through his legs. Behind for the goal kick. Brentford, Newcastle. John Southall.
Brentford 2, Newcastle 1. 10 men Newcastle, remember, but they're still very much in this. Lewis Hall down the left-hand side, whipped over a brilliant cross across the 6-yard box. There was Coyote with a block on the line, almost on the line to clear it away. Corner on the far side for Newcastle. Over it comes, cleared away by Ouattara. Brentford 2, Newcastle 1.
And a goal at Tynecastle, Jane Lewis.
There's been an equaliser, Hearts 1, Dundee United 1. Brilliant header for Lucas Stevenson, who came racing in from the ball played in from the corner. Great finish, and Dundee United back in this one each.
What about the rugby? Wales-Argentina kicked off at 3:10 this afternoon at the Principality Stadium. Owain Gwynedd has the latest.
Yes, 7 minutes to go in the half. Argentina back ahead. Wales 14, Argentina 17. Santiago Carreras with the penalty, but Wales down to 14. Ben Thomas yellow carded, and it's under review after kicking out Pablo Matera. But with 7 minutes remaining, Wales 14, Argentina 17.
Thank you, Owain. Dominic Calvert-Lewin penalised there for a challenge on Milenkovic as he tried to get behind him and get into the box. Moments ago, so there was a penalty appeal. I think more from the Nottingham Forest fans than the players for a handball in the box, but they made the right call there, didn't they?
They did make the right call. It was a one-knee sort of kicked the ball up, and it was on Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison did have his arms out wide, but it hit him. It looked more at the stomach area, so definitely the right call, no penalty.
That noise you can hear at the moment is a standing ovation for the Nottingham Forest captain Morgan Gibbs-White. He has scored the goal that has Nottingham Forest in front. Sean Dyche is so intent on getting the instructions across, he's ignored Gibbs-White as he comes off the pitch because the player was looking for a little high five. But he's just so vital, isn't he, to Nottingham Forest? He
really is, and there's been times this season that he's not quite been at his best. Maybe his tricks and flicks haven't quite come off. We saw how crucial he was last season, and today I think he's been excellent. Yeah, his headed goal came in the 68th minute. At the moment it's winning this game. It came from across from this man, Hutchinson. Great skills on the right, penalty. Brilliant from Hutchinson, beat his man, got into the box, then waited for Harrison to get back at him. He slowed down, and Harrison just couldn't resist, went for the tackle, missed the ball, and Nottingham Forest now have a chance to kill this game. Yeah, it's a definite penalty. They always say look at a player's reaction. Jack Harrison just walks away. He knows it's a penalty. Hutchinson does so well. He gets himself and the ball into the area. Jack Harrison is just clumsy, isn't it? He gets behind him, clips his heels and goes down. Yeah, Hutchinson moving at speed, great dribbler with the ball, cuts across Harrison, and Harrison running with him. I mean, Harrison, you're right, Sue. The reaction of the defender, he slams the floor in frustration because he knows he's been done. Yeah, he knows, and he's obviously not, that isn't his position, is it, left back? I know he's sort of left back, left wing back if you like. He's trying to get himself back into position, and brilliant from Hutchinson. What an impact he's made since he's come on. Well, Leeds United here heading for a 4th defeat in 5 games, and it'll be 5 out of 6 away from home that they've lost. It's not over yet. It's Forest 2, Leeds 1, and we're still waiting for the ball to be put on the spot. VAR are checking the penalty. Are they checking whether that's... I mean, I thought it was definitely inside. Well, it's definitely inside the box. It's definitely inside. Are they saying, does he mean it? Does he mean to sort of lock his leg on Jack Harrison's leg? I just think that's his running action. Yeah. So yes, I see what you mean. Is Hutchinson sort of initiating the contact by running? But I think you're allowed to run across a defender. Of course you are. That's what you get told to do, isn't it? As an attacking player, run across the defender, make them do something. I thought it was a definite penalty when I saw it. Right, Nottingham Forest missed a penalty in midweek. That was Morgan Gibbs-White in the 0-0 draw away against Sturm Graz. Nico Williams has been ball holder. He now passes it on to Elliot Anderson. Yet to score this season for Nottingham Forest, but again, like Gibbs-White, an absolutely crucial cog in the wheel. The reaction of the Nottingham Forest fans will tell you everything about this penalty. If this hits the back of the net, then you will know about it. 5 Live at the City Ground. Anderson is waiting for the referee to sort things out on the edge of the box. He's just flexed his neck muscles, flicked it to the right, flicked it to the left. He's got Lucas Perry in his sights. The whistle blows to win the game. Anderson tells you everything. Nottingham Forest fans erupt. They lead 3-1. It's going to be a first win since the opening weekend of the season, and they deserve it. Forest 3, Leeds 1. They do deserve it. Leeds United have obviously made the substitutions, trying to get themselves back into the game, but Nottingham Forest overall have been the better side, and Elliot Anderson has been, like you said, a key cog in this side. It's a brilliant penalty. It's into the corner. The goalkeeper, Perry, goes the opposite way. He puts it to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Lovely calm finish from Elliot Anderson. 6 minutes of added time begin now. Nottingham Forest have a 2-goal cushion. Fans in party mode. Nottingham Forest will stay 19th in the Premier League table tonight, but they just draw everyone
closer towards them. Next up for them after the international break, Liverpool away, and Sean Dyche still wants more. Game gets back underway. Leeds now need 2 goals in 6 minutes of football here. Lucas Perry, their goalkeeper, launches a massive high ball. Calvert-Lewin jumps. He's beaten in the air. Ampadu heads it up towards the Nottingham Forest box. Nodded away. Ampadu controls. Forest might even be able to get a fourth, you know. Hutchinson wins it. Harrison is chasing, tries to foul him. Can't do that. Hutchinson keeps his feet. Red shirt's pouring forward. Hutchinson shoots and it's blocked. He had so many options there, but he'd done all the hard work. He was absolutely determined to try and finish it himself.
Yeah, why not? You think as a substitute, come on, make an impact. That's exactly what he's done on that right-hand side. Always wants to dribble at his defence. Always wants to try and just get a yard, whether get a shot away, get a delivery into the box. He's been brilliant.
Half-time at Tynecastle. Hearts Dundee United. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, it's one apiece here. This one finally poised indeed for the second half. Alexander Akizaridis gave the home side the lead after his looping effort. I think took a nick off the Dundee United goalkeeper en route to goal, but Hearts replied and then some. Lovely ball in from the corner, great delivery. Lucas Stevens just steered his header home to set, as I say, and nicely up this one for the second half. Finally poised, one each.
4 minutes of added time remaining at the City Ground. Forest heading for only a second Premier League win of the season. They lead Leeds by 3-1. Jack Harrison conceded the penalty. Now he's crossing from the right, slightly deflected. Milenkovic heads it away. Okafor, little backheel pass into the box, and Murillo runs onto it and kicks it as far as he can downfield, and Leeds have to go chasing back to take the throw. Dundee Rangers half-time. Gavin Wallace.
Dundee 0, Rangers 2. It's been all Rangers, much improved. Nico Raskan in the first 15 minutes, and then Mikey Moore, as cool as you like from the edge of the box. Dundee 0, Rangers 2.
Aberdeen and Motherwell goalless at half-time. Forest with defending to do here, leading 3-1, and Doy volleys the ball away. Strout walks onto it for Leeds. Got a teammate out to the left-hand side. It's Harrison. One touch from him. Plays it down the left to Okafor. Works it back onto his right foot. Forest fans have 3 minutes to wait here. Cross comes in. Good save by Sells to his left. Calvert-Lewin with the header. Didn't really have the power on it, did it, Sue?
No, it didn't at all. And it was good play from Okafor on the left-hand side. And Calvert-Lewin does well. He gets up above Murillo. I think it sort of hits his shoulder, which takes any sort of power away. And Sells claims it quite simply.
Another try in the rugby. Owain Gwyneth.
Yeah, third try for Argentina. They've extended their lead to 10 points. Simon Cruz with his first international try, dotting underneath the posts, taking advantage of that one-man advantage they have. So the score with a minute remaining, Wales 14, Argentina 24 of the half.
We have got, 2.5 minutes left here. Forest now looking for a fourth goal, and Doy, Bogle in with the challenge, got the ball, says the referee. Bogle plays it out from the back here to Joel Pirro. Pirro across to Harrison. Late goal at Brentford, John Southall.
It is all over now. Brentford 3, Newcastle 1. Igor Thiago with his second of the game. 8th Premier League goal of the season has given Brentford the 3 points. Brentford 3, 10 men, Newcastle 1.
So Aston Villa leading Bournemouth 4-0. Brentford 3, Newcastle 1. Palace Brighton goalless here. Nottingham Forest 2, Leeds 1. Commentary of Manchester City against Liverpool on the way. Here on 5 Live. Murillo nods the ball down. Dan James can't take it past Williams. Williams with his left foot looking long downfield to Awani. Roden's got it covered. Nods it to Bogle. Bogle looks a little tired here as he gets to the ball, but he does get to it.
Do you know, I was just thinking it was a risk, wasn't it, playing Jack Harrison at full-back. I get that they've got to try and get themselves back into the game, but Hutchinson has been outstanding against him. He's not a defender, is he?
No, tough for him, and Hutchinson has sensed the weakness there, and Harrison now on the attack, tries to get a cross in. That's blocked by Savona. It's gone out for a throw to Nottingham Forest. Good defensive job done by Sean Dyche's team. It's full time. Palace Brighton. Andy Stevenson.
It finishes 0-0, a typical derby that was frantic at times, but no goals. Crystal Palace had by far the best chances. Mateta, Sarr and Kamada firing wide, and Bart Verbruggen was in inspired form in the Brighton goal. It's Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0.
1 minute of the game remaining here. Leeds coming forward. Calvert-Lewin into the penalty area. Ball won't quite fall for him. Forest hack it away for now. It bounces inside that Forest box, and Doy launches it up in the air. Anderson is underneath it. Took that penalty so brilliantly late in the game to calm any potential nerves here, and now holding on to the ball under pressure. Williams back by the dead ball line, clears with his right foot, and that's over the head of Awani. Full time at Villa Park. Sohail Sahi.
Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0. Buendia and Onana in the first half. A missed penalty from Semenyo changed the game in the favour of Aston Villa, and they scored twice from corner routines. Barkley and Marlon. Aston Villa leapfrog Bournemouth in the Premier League table. Full time, Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0.
Party atmosphere inside the City ground. Last attack will belong to Nottingham Forest. Awani one-on-one with Struijk, but Struijk is to the ball first, passes it forward into the Leeds half. There you go. That's a good feeling for the Nottingham Forest fans. Finally, first win since the opening weekend of the season. Third manager in charge here since the beginning of the season. But that man, Sean Dyche, has done the business today. And he stands there in the middle of the pitch, clapping with his hands above his head. You cannot underestimate the importance, Sue Smith, of that win for Nottingham Forest. They've beaten Leeds 3-1.
100%. It was a thoroughly deserved win as well for Nottingham Forest. I thought defensively they were very good. When they lost the ball, they got into a really good shape, a 4-4-2 if you like, and that's Sean Dyche, isn't it? Making sure that they're organised off the ball, and then they looked a real threat going forward. There was lots of creativity in there, and they are missing players, so yeah, they needed that. It's at home. They want to get themselves out of trouble as quickly as possible, and Sean Dyche, you feel, is the man to do that.
Nottingham Forest bring themselves within a point of Burnley and West Ham. Fulham and Leeds just 2 points above them as well. The feel-good factor back at the City ground, still in the bottom three, but a really important win this afternoon, and for Leeds United, a fourth defeat in the last 5 games. They took the lead through Mecha. Sangare quickly equalised in the first half. The crucial goals to get Nottingham Forest the win, the Gibbs-White header and the Elliott Anderson penalty. Full time here, Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds 1.